Peace, 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 love, and light to all the American Aborigines. It's your brother, Big Aboriginal Power, man. You already know the vibes. Shout out to everybody in the motherfucking building, man. We got a doozy for y'all, man. Let's get straight into it. Y'all know.
Out the mud is where I came from. Yeah, I took the streets on ain't chose me. Gotta keep it on me, yeah, I know. I can't trust a soul. Cause people living here every day. I'm plus this world getting more crazy. And I've been praying to the man lately. On my knees, ask for a better day. I come out the mud, man. I can't trust a soul. Ain't no rules in this shit. Watching for the low blow. Nigga, if you smart, you be scared of what you don't know. Fuck a nigga mean, I'm in that water, no robo. Pistol in my lap, it's a clip in the console. Then they pack a punch, I just named that bitch Kimbo. I done lost enemies, homies and kinfolks. Screaming free Larry, I can't think about what he in for. Heart beating to the tempo, putting pain to the beat. Lost fucking with my mental, got me watching for deceit. Hit my nigga make a purchase, it ain't come with no receipts. But he did say, since I grabbed two, he make it three. I didn't live long enough to know ain't shit in life free. Only money on my mind, you should think like me. Trying to make it through the door, when I do, I leave the key. Game supposed to be told, but these niggas playing.
He always
God
took
damn.
shit.
Out the mud is where I came from. Yeah, I took the streets on ain't chose me. Gotta keep it on me, yeah, I know. I can't trust a soul. Cause people living here every day. I'm but this world getting more crazy. And I've been praying to the man lately. On my knees, ask for a better day.
Got the rain, it's a storm on me. I done did my dirt, was born in it, but don't judge on me. Trying to get up out it, tell me why I feel like death on me. Forgive me, Lord, it's with me, in case they try to stay up on me. Never said I'm perfect, but it feel like I'm cursed. They ain't take me out the game, but they hit me where it hurt. Instead of trying to get me paid, show me what you think I'm worth. Ain't nobody give me shit, I had to hustle, go work for it. Had some thicker fingers before I had shit. Feeling like I'm finna go, but then I'm back in. That count keep going up because they keep on acting. That tell me why I feel like I'm going backwards. I'm sticking to this beat, yo, on my hi-hat. I'm talking to the Lord, asking why I'm down here. It feel like it's deja vu keep coming around here. They tell me that it's the choices that I made that I'm gonna drown in.
He always took shit.
Out the mud is where I came from. Yeah, I took the streets on ain't chose me. Gotta keep it on me, yeah, I know. I can't trust a soul. Cause people living here every day. And plus this world getting more crazy. And I've been praying to the man lately. On my knees, asking for better days.
Yo, AB, you stacking up.
Fuck they mean, I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like Carnival. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil. Hey, I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like Carnival. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil. Get the green, goes to sing, man, I got this. In the streets pulling stunts for that fortune. Scorch the beat when I spit, man, I tore shit. You don't wanna feel the pain that I record with. Yeah, we did it on our own, no endorsements. Shit get hard, we don't stop, we don't forfeit. But these streets made a nigga so heartless. Shit dark, but my light shine regardless. Yeah. And you can keep the nonsense. Survive for a living, rap something I have fun with. You can have the fame, I'm so way beyond it. Don't know who to trust, so I can't go unless the gun fit. Even then, you still better watch who you run with. They see you with potential, try to put you on dumb shit. Won't strike like a zebra, but regrets is what it come with. Lost blood, sweat, tears, and a whole bunch of dumb shit. Fuck they mean, I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like Carnival. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil. Hey, I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like Carnival. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil. Pulling schemes like Madoff, stunts like Knievel. Married to the streets, no prenup, I can't leave her. Taking off, try to keep up and I speed up. Squad made of bosses, we ain't need no one to lead us. We tried it, but deeper in the slums where that led us. Don't let them see you hurt, you gotta keep your head up. Gotta keep my head up, yeah. Found knowledge on my own, cause ain't nobody show me better. I'm just thinking logically, that's knowledge over cheddar. Don't move by their rules, so they label me the devil. They hate to see my people with intelligence and cleverness. Don't feed me with your doctrine, don't play with my intelligence. Dropping knowledge on my people, won't deceive them like the priest. I'm a good nigga, but inside it's a beast. Trying to chase that root of evil, made a monster out of me. When you see me in the streets, they be the monster that you see. But they mean I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like Knievel. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil. Hey, I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like Knievel. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hit that like button, man. It's your brother Big Bappy Tom. You already know, man, the hood journalist, man, the hood scientist, man. We here for another banger. So if y'all in here with us, make sure y'all hit that like button. Thumb up the video, support the channel, man.
It's amazing, y'all. Feel like I'm up for the channel.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Drop them fire emojis. What we doing? Barbecue a meal, dude, my nigga. Come on, man. You already know what it is. Big Bappy. Come on.
They just contenders, I'm Sunday listing. Pay niggas no attention, I'm paying vengeance. Tall on my pivot, you niggas midgets. Conducting they selves like they children and women. Fucks with my city, but fuck their opinions. I'm focused on profit, so I just go get it. Niggas is characters, I'm building capital. Say that the streets that got hot like Africa. Pistol whipping for you snakes and tarantulas. Don't make me flatten your ass with that spatula. They trying to bleed the game dry like they Dracula. Call me amazing, the Mr. Spectacular. Flipping, smoking, got the flame in the passion. They try to play a nigga like shit wasn't relevant. I'm a big dog, stay stuck like an elephant. City underdog, here to show them that I'm better than. Throw my M's up, out the mud, nigga. Throw them O's up, old dub, nigga. Never give up, won't budge, nigga. City love to hate, but hate to love a nigga. Crunk it up, now it's all out the box. Shit crazy, skin is up and down on the pop. About time, I let them see what I got. When I reach the top, I'm never giving up the slack. Game wide open, anyone can take a shot. What is 60 seconds? That ain't shit when you be wrecking. Voice ammunition in my mind is a weapon. Said that I wasn't, but a nigga couldn't help it. The kid legendary, I'm a living legend. Trapping like the 90s, never ride with the skill. Pull up on a nigga with a couple of the meals. Shit so strong, get high from the smell. Who the competition, they gon' have to wear the L. Big brother, lucha time and anything can sell. Life ain't fair, find a way to tip the scale. You don't want smoke, rather put it in the air. Sneak up like a ghost, watch his face go pale. Sharks in the water, man, I gotta be a whale. Asking who the best on the time gon' tell. Asking who the best on the time gon' tell, yeah.
What's your set? What's your gang? What's your tribe? What's your set?
What's y'all set? What's y'all tribe, man? What y'all smoking on out there? Talk to me.
Say, what's your tribe, little nigga? What's your tribe, little nigga? Pressure apply, little nigga. When we slide, little nigga. If you a $5 nigga, don't get tried, little nigga. What's your tribe, little nigga? What's your tribe, little nigga? Pressure apply, little nigga. When we slide, little nigga. If you a $5 nigga, don't get tried, little nigga. It's a sleeve down movement, we ain't jabbing shit. But if niggas want box, then we jabbing shit. Uncivilized, we be on some savage shit. And if you disrespect this shit, it could get tragic quick. Boy, we smoking on that wop, that's that Walter Platt. Edgar Hoover in the wood and we ain't coughing yet. If you a NA nigga, then you not a threat. If you a AA nigga, you get my respect. Aboriginal, all the ops pitiful. Colonize your mind, then they act like they got rid of you. Truth come to the light, they'll fuck around and finish you. Copper color Indian, the proof is individual. I said the proof is individual. SOE, shit is getting critical. Better mask up, nigga, won't be dinner fool. And it's still trap game, you know that been a crew. A alpha male don't just provide, little nigga. He create governments and get supplied, little nigga. All that marching ain't gon' work. You ain't tired, little nigga. Quit the G, check a nigga like, what's your tribe, little nigga? What's your tribe, little nigga? What's your tribe, little nigga? Pressure apply, little nigga. When we slide, little nigga. If you a $5 nigga,
yeah,
don't get tried, little nigga. What's your tribe, little nigga? What's your tribe, little nigga? Pressure apply, little nigga. When we slide, little nigga. If you a $5 nigga, don't get tried, little nigga.
Never have no touch on them, come from where we come from. Copper ain't your nature, this ain't your land, this ain't your nation. They say we lost our language when we went through simulation. Y'all went through simulation, how the fuck y'all know the language? Just to marry, fuck these natives. Atlantis till we vanish. First on Turtle Island, still the first ones on this planet. They talk on the net, but if we met, they show they panties. When it come to action, bitch, we slide like Michael Jackson. Bullets playing tag, this ain't no Facebook post. They was damn bad before they came to the coast. Crackers turn to jackers, all our friends became foes. 100 years later, back on top of you hoes.
Like, what's your tribe, little nigga? What's your tribe, little nigga? Pressure apply, little nigga. When we slide, little nigga. If you a $5 nigga, don't get tried, little nigga. What's your tribe, little nigga? What's your tribe, little nigga? Pressure apply, little nigga. When we slide, little nigga. If you a $5 nigga, don't get tried, little nigga.
Salute, man. Salute to the motherfucking real ones in the building, man. It's your brother, the El Bappy Tom, man. Big Bapperton, big Aboriginal power. Some know me as AP, man. Y'all already know the vibe. Turn me up, man. We gonna rock the house out with this one today. We gonna rock the house out with this one today. I hope y'all ready, man. So we're gonna lock in with a lot of this fire information. First and foremost, I do want to shout the family out that is in the building, rocking out with the God. Drop those fire emojis if y'all can hear me loud and clear. I'm not in my studio today. So the sound probably is a little different. So y'all just let me know how y'all feel about this outside. I mean, in the chat. Let's go, man. I'm turning up. Hey, I want a little bit of this moonshine. Ooh, motherfucking weed. This moonshine is fire. I'm about, hey, it's going to be a good show. Most certainly going to be a good show. It's always good to see the family in here with us. Hopefully you guys are enjoying y'all motherfucking Saturday, y'all evening, all that good stuff. Let me shout out to the family that's in the chat that took their time out to shout me out. So I want to take the time out to shout you guys out. That is in the chat. So just bear with me. We're going to shout the family out right now. Shout out to Indigenous Realists. We appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Big Brother Brown Wolf is in the building. Boot Camp is in the building. Country Ray is in the building with his family. Dre Cobb's Music is in the building with us. Copper Color Kai is in the building. Humble Up, man. Salute to you, man. I appreciate you enjoying the collab with me and Bro Sanchez, man. We're gonna start doing more of those. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homie. Shout out to Rodney Gilmore Jr. Texas is in the building. Dre Light is in the building. Anthony Lowe is in the building. Big Bro Simple Amazing for the music that y'all heard on this platform. The first 3 songs, you already know that was my brother Simple Amazing in the chat. Make sure y'all show him some love if y'all appreciate some of those fine tunes that the brother bringing to it. Matter of fact, Simple Amazing, what's up? I need official intro, official Bapathon intro, custom. What's up, Simp? You bullshitting, gang. Shout out to Milestone Thoughts in the building, man. Indigenous Realist, man. For those that don't know who Indigenous Realist is, man, he's one of the first Aboriginals I seen going viral on social media outside of Dan Calloway, really going crazy when it comes to this Aboriginal information. My brother did some time. You know, these governments try to, deprive our people. He ended up doing some federal penitentiary time, and he out back on the streets. Free, glad to see you back on the streets, y'all. Make sure y'all show my brother Indigenous Realist some love, man. Definitely one of the early pioneers and dropping this information, man. It's always a blessing to see you in the chat, brother. Nate Bad, y'all in the building with us, man. The Latrell 10 Well Show. Michelle R, what's the word? I see you in here on code. I see you, gang. Enoch, Sister Soul Main Radio. I see you doing your thing over there on TikTok. Show me some love over there, sis. Damn. Fuck with me. You feel me? Shout out to Mike Dollar over there. We got Mike Dollar in here. Jeremiah's. What's up, man? Who else we got in here? Oh, we got Jeremy Royster in the building. Let me get my brother Jeremy Royster his official wrench. He needs his wrench. He needs his wrench. You should be good to go, big bro. Let me see if I can type in for I'm gonna find him in a second. I'm gonna find Jeremy Royster again. Who else we got in here? Chief Jonesy, Dre Cobb, Just Jazz, Carl Johnson. I see y'all in the building. What's the word, gang? Make sure y'all come in and hit that like button too, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I can't even stress to you motherfuckers how important it is for you to just boop, hit that little like button and boop, boop, share it on your social media outlets. 2 seconds, 2 clicks. It's real quick. You feel me? Don't do your brother a big bapaton like that. Don't fuck with your favorite nephew. What Mr. Lott, Mr. Knowledge in the building. Call Me B is in here. Kill Switch is in the building. Benny Jones in the motherfucking building. Excuse me. Dre Light. Damn, Root Words. What's up, big bro? Root Words. Damn, what's wrong with you, family? What I do? You coming in. F Big AP. Don't do it, Root. I'm on this moonshine too. Don't do it, bruh. Don't do it, bruh. I'm asking you. Stand down. Stand down. Stand down. I'm telling you. Hiker, what's the word, gang? Salute to big bro Hiker from the NO. Who else we got up in here, man? We are in here thick in here tonight. No Diddy. We in here really thick. No Diddy. Shout out to Ravenhawk, man. Salute to you. Always good to see you in here, family. Who else we got in here? Craig Lloyd is in here with us. NYC is in here. YFG 314 is in here with us, man. Salute to you, man. St. Louis in the building. Ain't you from St. Louis? I think that's 314. Khalil Finch, what we smoking on, gang? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. This is a big Bapperton summer. Y'all already know the vibes, man. We coming to rock the house. Mama Chief, hope all is well. Good to see you in here. Divinely Me DD, good to see you in here. Divinely Me DD is in the building with us. Phantom Beats, Keith Lamont, Copper Draco, J Rock in the motherfucking building, man. What you want, J Rock, cuz? What you want? Come on, Root. Just leave me alone, gang. 111 Truth. What's the word, family? Hope all is well with you. Let me shout out to my brother 111 Truth, man. Shout out to my brother 1111 Truth. I'm gonna take another swig of the moonshine for Cuzzo. Just enough to wet the whistle, goddamn. You understand? Who else we got up in here? I believe that's it, man. I believe we got everybody naturally Aboriginal. I see you in the building, family. Mr. Miller, that's a Slim Bull. We got the homie Slim Bull in the motherfucking building. Shout out to the homie. Hope all is well with you, fam. Yes, family. Yes, family. Come on in. Hit that like button. Thumb up that video. And let's get it in. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. Live and learn. I see you, family. Somebody say he finna be sleep. You funny as hell. I probably will be sleeping in a short. I ain't gonna be on her. We here for a good time, not a long time. Goddamn. You understand me? We here for a good time, not a long time. No Somebody say, I got some moonshine on me. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Jaleel Hawkins, I see you, family. GG. Mr. Geechee, I see you, family. I see you, family. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's good to see y'all up in here. It's always good to see y'all up in here. Hold on. Let me set my shit up right. It's always good to see y'all up in here, man. Y'all know the vibes, man. But yeah, man, we got a lot to deal with when it comes to this conversation, man. Somebody said, where my damn wrench? This ain't the channel with all the wrenches, man. That's the other channel. You know what I'm saying? This the original OG channel. It's few far in between gonna have wrenches around this motherfucker. Dead homies. You ain't have a wrench when this bitch came back. This some straight, Khalil. My man didn't have the butterscotch that I normally get. I like the butterscotch moonshine. My nigga didn't have it, so I was like, man, fuck it. I'll take the, the old Dirty Harry, Somebody said it's 84 in the chat and only 27 likes. Yeah, that's diabolical. That's diabolical. That's motherfucking diabolical. 27 likes. Nigga, I end the live stream for 27 likes. Nigga, I will end this motherfucker. Continue my motherfucking day. And it's beautiful outside. Goddamn, the sun is motherfucking shining. Somebody said, I see 71 likes. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you got to refresh your screen, Auntie. Sometimes you got to refresh your screen. Hey, Naturally Aboriginal, you say you got a question for me? Go ahead and shoot your question before we get started. Go ahead and shoot your question, man. We'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and let you get your question in real quick. Go ahead and shoot your motherfucking question, gang. Cool. Good speaking over there on Smoke Channel. All right, y'all was over there cooking. Shout out to Smoke. I want to get into this conversation in a second, man. This is I'm gonna have to cook it in a little second. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have a conversation. I gotta make a comment to where some motherfuckers make some comments. You feel me? Where the fuck is Natural Aboriginal at? I think they said they had a question for me real quick. American Isness. Big Brother Libra son in the building. Smoke Signal. Smoke Signal. Hit the link, man. You might as well make it a smoke show. I'm not just Smoke know how to get on. I ain't even got to drop the link because y'all. If I drop the link, niggas gonna want to get on. You know what I'm saying? Niggas gonna want to get on and shit. Hey, what the fuck is Natural Aboriginal? Whatever the fuck. Let me find the name right quick. Naturally Aboriginal. You say you want a quick question. Go ahead and shoot your question, gang. DJ O'Head, cut. Why is there so many gay people in the Aboriginal community now? Hold on, let me read that. Now, this shit ain't healthy. I agree, man. I agree. And I know it is a few gay motherfuckers around, if I'm not mistaken, but it's only like one gay motherfucker like Zay. Like Zay is the only gay motherfucker that I know, unless it's some DLs. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think it's healthy, fam. I agree with you, Naturally Aboriginal. I motherfucking agree, gang. Arise and Aborigine, where you been at, gang? Tayshawn, what's up, fam? What's up, fam? Well, how y'all feel about this shit? Let me put my brother question or sister. I don't know if it's a brother or a sister. It doesn't matter. It's a God either way. How do y'all feel about that? Somebody said, why when white dudes be gay, they be trying to morph into black women? That's weird. I always thought that was weird too. Like, damn, you other races get gay and turn to Shaniqua. What is wrong with you? How y'all feel about my man question right here? This question, how the fuck y'all feel about this? Huh? Talk to me. I told Zay niggas was homophobic around it. No, I'm not homophobic. I'm not homophobic at all. We not motherfucking homophobic at all. But shit, we got the right to feel like that shit not healthy though. Smoke. Motherfucker got the right for a nigga to feel like that's not healthy, cuz. Like, damn, they ain't gonna put security up where we can't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Damn, it's just a conversation. Somebody said, if you gay, you gay. Nothing against you. I just don't rock with that. I just don't rock that way. Yeah, for sure. But so the question is, should they be around? I guess that's what naturally Aboriginal is trying to say. Should these gay motherfuckers be around? Yes or no? We need a simple yes or no in the chat. Fuck all that. I ain't even putting a poll up. I want to see everybody answers on this one. Nah, I ain't putting no poll up. Nigga, yes or no? And I'm looking. You go. Ain't nobody gonna put nothing in the chat. Y'all bogus as hell on my grandma. If y'all don't put no answer in the chat, y'all bogus as hell on my grandma. Somebody say, who want to listen to a zesty motherfucker? Now that's a good. I mean, listen. Let's just start the show off with some questions. That's a good ass response. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said no. We got some no's. Somebody said they still Jazz. I need an answer. Yes or no? Is it okay for the gay people to be around in the community? Yes or no? Is it okay for them to be on the panel, to have a voice in our community? Yes or no? I'm gonna say no. Flat the fuck out. No offense. No offense. You understand? That's just how I feel, but you know, it is what it is. But let's see what the people feel though. We got some no's. We got some they still people. No, that ain't an answer I can take. Somebody said if the info good, I'm good. No, I need yes or no, y'all. Y'all keep doing all these beating around the bush answers. I'm not going with that, bro. We need a yes or a no. Is it okay? Yes or no? Is it okay for them to be around and have a voice? Yes or no? Y'all talking about if the information good, if they bring some motherfucking potlucks. Nigga, nobody give a fuck about that. Nigga, answer the motherfucking question. I just want to get an overall view. Y'all be scared to answer shit. Somebody said, hell nah, that shit be annoying as fuck. Somebody said, nah, cuz. But some people do be wanting to say, yeah, they just ain't saying, yeah, I ain't going to judge you for saying, yeah, there's no right or wrong answer. Baptist not going to judge y'all today. I'm not going to say one word today about it if y'all answer yes. I won't say nothing about it today. Swear to God. Get that gay ass root words out of here. Damn, why you going with my nigga root words like that? Damn. Hey Zay, why you ain't answer the question, fam? I know Zay let me get your opinion, fam. Well, how you feel about it? Mac D said yes. Gay people should be around. Okay, I like that. They got some good. We got a yes in here finally. We got Mac D, Sean P. Diddy. I know P. Diddy. I fuck with you, P. Diddy. I know you was gonna say yes. For real. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're comfortable in your own motherfucking skin. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel too. You feel me? But straight up. Anybody else gonna say yes? Oh, divinely me, DD. Okay, divinely me, DD. Okay. Somebody said I ain't gotta answer it. I'm gonna be around regardless. Tell them men toughen up. Come on, Zay. Don't be no little weenie, fam. Answer the motherfucking question, fam. Be a real nigga one time. Just answer the motherfucking question, gang. Shit. Come on, man. Be a real nigga one time. Shit. Damn homies. Nigga, you gay. Answer it. You do want to be around. You do want to have a voice. Nigga, your answer is yes. And if you say no, then your answer is what Bob think. Nigga, either way. Somebody said I missed the question, Sister Soul. Sister Soul, should gay people be in our community like Zay, and should they have a voice? You see what I'm saying? That's what somebody asked in the chat. I just want to get the chat involved. Since Smoke didn't get to answer that question in the chat. Smoke, how you feel about that, fam?
It's kind of complex. It's kind of simple, right? I think most niggas would be like, hell no, I should know gay motherfuckers be around.
Right.
I mean, simple answers, no, because it's controversial. Not that niggas is scared of gay folks, but then who want to deal with, hey man, we see you on the panel with the gay dude. That make you gay, bro. You feel me? Now you know you ain't gay, but how you combat that stance? How do you combat that stance? Hey, bro, you was talking to a gay dude all night, my nigga.
Oh shit! Yeah, you barbecue with that one. Yeah, that's good. That's complex, huh? What? Simple but complex. Damn. So, what is your ultimate answer, though? Yes or no?
I would say no due to the controversy, not due to the sexual preference. Right? It's just the controversy that comes with it. It's just like added fuel to a fire that's already big enough burning around this motherfucker. We already got the Native Americans, the Pan-Africans, the goddamn government, all type of shit that a nigga at odds with. All the extra shit just, you know what I'm saying? A line got to be drawn some motherfucking world. And I'm still saying I'm not anti-gay because I'm not knowing what niggas is doing with their genitalia. Right?
Yeah,
I don't know what you niggas doing. Right. I don't know what you niggas doing with your genitalia. Right? But I ain't just got time to be like, oh yeah, you definitely gay. You said hey to Zay in the chat, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for that goofy shit. You know what I mean? It's already enough accusations of niggas who ain't even professing to be gay of being gay. So goddamn.
Like who?
You know, they be saying Superman gay, root word gay. Every time niggas have an argument, the other nigga gay. I'm just saying, bitch ass nigga, hoe ass nigga, you gay. You feel me? That's how rampant it is in the community these days.
Well,
so,
we grew up saying shit like that though. When you did some weird shit, you was gay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't play basketball good and you was on my team. Man, this nigga gay as fuck on my team. Damn, he gay. He's no good. That's the way we used it back in the day. But, you know, I don't know about that.
Let me ask you this. Because most of the women don't feel no type of way about a gay dude being around. I mean, it don't offend them by any means. They look at that shit like they're just shrugging their shoulder at it, like, so.
That's crazy.
I didn't say all the women, I said, but the majority of them do be like, they don't even mind.
Yeah, that's strange to me too, though.
Now, I don't want to sit up here and speak for the brides. I mean, the goddesses, but I'm just saying. That's what I noticed.
Nah, they didn't. So Jazz said, hold up, don't put Superman in that shit. Yeah. Take up for us.
Nah, man, you know, we've been around the block. You know the mother like Superman gay. He always on the panel. I ain't never seen him with a bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, that little shit.
Not that it means anything to me, but I get tired of hearing that shit. Like, damn, can we talk about something?
It's really a lazy comeback. You know what I'm saying? It's really a lazy motherfucking comeback. No bullshit. But listen, man, I started this show up because somebody said about faded. Y'all funny as hell. Now I'm reading the chat, gang, and I just smoked. So you know I'm feeling good, fam. Don't worry about me, nigga. Hey, but listen though,
man, you gotta read that comment right there. You gotta read this. Since we're dealing with the controversy, read this comment right here, man.
Closeted gay niggas is the worst, though. I mean, since we here, god damn. Fuck. Yeah, they are the worst, man.
So how do you bar a closeted gay nigga? So if we getting rid of the open gay niggas, if we
you gotta
getting
get
rid
the
of
real
open,
gay nigga to expose the closet gay niggas. You see what I'm saying? But it seems like the
Right.
closet gay niggas and the real gay niggas working together and shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
saying like a brother, a bristerhood. You know, like a bro sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? Like a bristerhood. You feel me?
Brister, that's crazy.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that one, man. That's insane. What you feel about it though, Smoke? I mean, it probably is a couple of them up in this motherfucker.
I'm not finna do no investigation into who closeted gay though. I'm sorry, I ain't got that kind of time.
I don't think it'd be an issue. Motherfuckers don't be knowing till we hear your voice. Motherfuckers sound like Nicki Minaj and you a dude. You gay, bro. Like, you know, we don't gotta know much. You sound like Nicki Minaj, cuz. You trying to sound like Lil Kim. What is wrong with you? You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man.
Okay, so wait a minute. We're gonna go a step farther. Is we getting rid of all the bull daggers too? Or they cool to keep around?
Yeah, that bull dagger just a fake nigga. And if you want fake niggas around, I mean, it's up to you. You want some fake niggas around?
I mean, long as they ain't gay, right? What's the rules? I mean, what we going? What we doing here?
Well, a bull dagger is gay and it's a fake nigga.
Complicated is all I'm saying. I vote to keep bull daggers around.
Oh, you trying to change their lives. I feel you, Smoke. I feel you. Unique method. I feel you.
I ain't commenting on that. I'm not commenting on that.
No, I'm just saying, unique method, fam. Go ahead, do your thing. Man, you talking about studs, right? When you say
the stud and the one that ain't the stud. Both of them ain't the stud.
See, a stud means S-T-U-D. That means still titties under there. You feel what I'm saying?
Right, okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Still titties under there. You feel me? But nah, bull daggers gotta get gone, bro. Somebody said Smoke turning bull dagger back to women. All right, but listen, Smoke. Let me just let's get to the meat and potatoes of the convo though. Since you up here, how do you feel about motherfuckers claiming to be Indian but not Aboriginal?
Goofy to me. I don't see how you can be Indian and not Aboriginal when Aboriginal is in one of the definitions of Indian. Like, we didn't come to YouTube and put that motherfucker there. It was already there.
Right?
It was already there. So somebody had the foresight to place that son of a bitch in a definition and be like, see, y'all niggas ain't gonna be able to avoid this. When the time comes, just remember, we setting this word right here in the definition of Indian and making it unavoidable. So I don't know, there's that.
Right. I mean, I feel like it's self-explanatory. The history is there about it. I don't see what the issue is. I think a lot of the issue come from a lot of these people that's pushing against the Aboriginal is usually inclined more to Native American culture. So that means that the more you look into some of their activities, you're going to find things that's more closely similar to Native Americans, whether it's going to powwows, taking your shoes off, kicking in the dirt, whether it's wearing a damn war bonnet. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be things that's going to be closer to Native Americans.
I'm just saying this, Brian. The Indians are known, the Aboriginals are known as Indians.
That's what I'm trying to say. You see me? That's what I'm saying. The Aboriginal people are known as, okay, so could we say that the first mislabel, the first classification on the indigenous peoples here would be Indian, right?
I don't know if it's so. It's all complicated and controversial at this particular time. Right?
Well,
so I don't know if it's a misnomer. You can't nobody really prove whether it's a misnomer or not. All we can say is that according to the historical narrative, some motherfuckers who wasn't from here came here and went to call the niggas Indians. That's the narrative, right? But that might not even be true. So we just know that the indigenous people of the Americas all across this continental landmass was known as motherfucking Indians. That's what we know for sure. That's what we know for sure. How they got the name, we can only speculate or trust the historical narrative, which would mean Columbus is real. Well, we got to bring Columbus back? I don't know. What we doing here? You got it.
Well, let's dig deep into this conversation. Under your research, Smoke, now you may be limited on some. Do you think Christopher Columbus was a real person or nonfiction character? I mean, or fictional character, excuse me.
I'm leaning toward him being fictional as a mother.
Okay, get into it. Tell me, explain. Give me some reasons why. Come on, talk to me.
Okay, first of all, this is an explorer, said to have been an explorer, correct?
Yep.
Was him coming to America his maiden voyage?
Was it his what? His main voyage?
Maiden, like his first attempt at exploration.
I don't know. That's actually a good question. I don't think that was
actually. I'm just saying, see how much we don't know about this nigga. See how much we don't know about this nigga. That's what I'm saying. That's why I lean toward him being fictional. See, my first question to you came up with I'm not sure about that. But he's supposed to be this very notable historical figure, right? And I'm not saying.
I mean, let's just say he did, though. But let's just say it wasn't to any magnitude where it was making any historical impact. But traveling to a new world, supposedly, will make huge impact, correct? Going to like from Spain to Europe, to London wouldn't be big, or going from Spain to the Horns of Africa wouldn't be that much of a story. There was tons of explorers that came before him that would have did that, right? In that area, right? That would have traveled.
Okay, go ahead. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, but
I'm just saying, would it be of an impact if he did go somewhere else? Would it be worth writing about, is what I'm saying, Smoke.
Yes, it would be noteworthy if he did actually discover something that one part of the world didn't know about. I'm not under that impression by any means, but that would be a phenomenal feat.
No. Okay. Well, expeditions. Well, does it say he went to go explore somewhere that had already had explorers there? He just maybe a third or fourth wave. Would it be any of significance for them to write about that will make it over here from pre-1400s?
Nope, nothing.
Nothing. It wouldn't even make it over here, would it?
Wouldn't have raised the eyebrow over here.
That's what I'm saying. So the only thing that did raise the eyebrow in the story is him coming here, right?
Correct.
That's what's raising the eyebrow, right? So I don't know. That's a good question. If he did, like I said, and if he did, would have went to other places, like we agree on, Smoke, it wouldn't have been wrote about, and it would have never even reached it over here for us to even know about.
No, we wouldn't have known him. Like the dude who sailed before Christopher Columbus. What was his name?
Lee Erickson or something like that, right?
No, I'm not talking about the one that came over here. They're just talking about the one that sailed before him. Like a couple of days before Columbus. It was a dude that sailed a couple of days before Columbus. You remember his name?
Fuck no.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. He wouldn't.
What did he do?
Columbus
did he find something?
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Did he find something though? Did that nigga find something that came?
No, what I'm saying is he's unknown because he didn't do nothing noteworthy. Nobody knows this nigga, but he sailed a couple of days before Columbus did to bring back some shit that Columbus would have brought back if it wouldn't have been said that he came to America. You see what I'm saying? That's how little we would know about Columbus had he not came to America. That's what I'm saying.
That story though, that a guy sailed before him, because you know the whole Christopher Columbus thing was a big ordeal. It was a 3-year project allegedly that took a lot of funding, and not only and now listen, I'm not saying the story is real or fake. I'm saying that according to history, some of the logs. Now we can get into some of the logs to see if this accurate or not. But he got 3 different voyages. Smoke.
Okay, so what like on the 3rd voyage, I figure he had the trip laid out. Right, first time he accidentally, haphazardly happened upon the Americas. 2nd time he kind of figured, hey, well, yeah, we're going back there. Those folks had it going on, right? 3rd time, so it should just been like routine down there. So the 3rd voyage, it ought to be a more routine narrative concerning Columbus's voyage. What that 3rd trip, what it sound like?
Oh, when you read the 3rd trip?
Yeah, what it sound like?
It sounds like another mission. He just went to another location of the Americas. I think in the 3rd voyage, he touches California.
Right. Okay, like was he aligned? Did he have some American allies by then that was showing him around?
Yeah,
shit
there
like
was
that.
There was a couple locals and natives, you know what I'm saying, or indigenous folks that was dipping around. And you know, there's stories of them meeting some chiefs and royal people that when they came up to them, they had, you know, was dressed in full clothes and had gold spear tips, you know what I'm saying, at their command.
Okay, which would mean that their story should align with the indigenous people's story as far as it pertains to those particular instances when they met.
Right. They do got images of indigenous peoples in those areas that's black with you know, gold tip spears and shit. They got the mirrors of these shits. So I don't know. Maybe the name is incorrect. Maybe the action of someone doing this and this whole plan is, but maybe the name is incorrect. See, that's been their game the whole time. To rename, once you rename some shit, you damn near fuck up the history of it.
I'm saying that the discovery of America is an act of betrayal by people who already knew what the fuck was going on over here. Right? It is the date that this act of betrayal was formulated as a full-fledged plan to just hijack niggas. Right? I don't think it mattered to them how long it would take to pull it off. I think they just formulated that plan. But right. I don't know what, I'm not saying I know the means by which they formulated the plan, but it's definitely giving me the implications that that's what they did. Well, I don't think America was a mysterious land that somebody accidentally just happened upon. Too much shit going on over here for the rest of the world. Who was probably, I'm not saying probably, but suggested was living in some type of deprivation. You got it.
No, I agree with you, bro. I just feel like whether it's true or not, I guess that's part of history, man. It's hard to validate these historical narratives and these historical characters. You feel me? But it seems like they was following another group of people from back over here. You see what I'm saying? And we all heard about these stories of other melanated people coming from over there and all this stuff. So maybe this was just they captured one set of group of people, a few of them fled, they chased them, and they pretty much let them here. You see what I'm saying?
I'm saying that the people that we calling conquerors, black Europeans, Moors, whatever, or people who have some historical affiliation with people from the Americas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And I'm even maybe going as far as saying that these are distant relatives, you know, maybe with some admixture or maybe even not, but these are distant relatives coming back to the ancestral homelands that they have heard about, passed down from generation to generation since they have been.
Okay, so let's talk about the story then, right? Here's the story. Here's the story. 711, the so-called Moors invade the Iberian Peninsula, right? They go in there, they conquer, they colonize.
The El Mortavids.
Right.
711 AD, the greasy gods.
Right. Okay. What, 700 years later, the Europeans muster up the reserve to get rid of the Moors, right?
Well, at least to invade, right? Enough to disrupt it, right?
Right, right. And the ones who got caught up in that conflict supposedly ran up out of there, were convinced to get the hell up out of there, right? And they go to several different places. I'm of the opinion that the places that the Moors went to are the places that they were always told that they came from in the first place.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't have nothing to even add to it, really, because you said a mouthful, and I agree with it 100%. That's literally what I've been saying for years.
Right. So the ones that came to America would have been the ones that knew that they had people in America. It don't matter how long it's been since they've been here, because as long as you got the information, like I ain't been to Mississippi in a while, right? It's a lot of people down there now that I won't know, but who I do know can always get me in the door. You feel me? Because they'll be like, right, who you know? Well, I know so and so and so. So I know Carla B. Wait, hold on. That's my great grandmama. How you know her? Well, that's my grandmama's sister. You see what I'm saying? I'm in the door.
Let's go a little deeper. Let's go a little deeper. What if these people came back with actual written records with the names and actual places? And this is what they came with when they came here, which got them so-called colonized land, the colonist land. What if these lands was designated lands from what was allocated towards these newly returning descendants or cousins of yours?
I mean, that's logical. It's a logical inference.
I mean, because listen, think about it. A group of Indians is just not going to give no niggas no spot.
No, you got to know somebody.
You got to know somebody.
You got to know somebody.
Like my granddaddy house was right here. Oh, for real? Well, shit, let's show me the paperwork. You see what I'm saying?
I got you.
So okay. So now we got the distant cousin. So what's the relationship? What's the tension like? Is there a separation of culture and how things is done? Is it direct animosity? Did they immediately join cahoots? Let's break down the tension between these people after first contact and realizing that they may be or maybe not distant cousins. Let's go.
Okay, let me give you the nuances. I've been in, let's say, my folk from Tennessee, I've been in California all these years, right? Something happened in California where the locals is like, all you niggas that came a while ago, y'all gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta go. But I've been in California networking all this time, which means I have some affiliations with some California niggas that ain't really got nothing to do with my affiliations from where I'm from in the first place. Now, by something transpiring with the California niggas and the niggas that ain't really from California, it's causing a little friction in California too. So them niggas will be like, well, damn, bro, we might need to go with you. Yeah, I don't know. Well, that might be a good idea because the shit heat. The shit heated right here, right now. So this shit might need to get smoothed over. So I'm saying those niggas who were from here was bringing niggas back who wasn't from here. You feel me? Even though the niggas that was from here was cool, because it's understood y'all niggas from here. But these niggas y'all bringing back, they not from here, bro. Y'all gonna have to keep these niggas in pocket, bro. Right?
Okay. I'm with that. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question with that. Now, your distant cousins, right, are coming over here, correct?
Right.
Well, and they're bringing people over here that's not your cousins or not even related to you, correct?
Right. What I'm
now,
saying.
Are these people melanated as well as your cousins, or are they not melanated?
Now, that's where it get complicated. I'm not sure.
Because
that's the whole issue. I'm not sure.
So let's skip up, right? So we got 1400s, this shit taking place. Fast forward, we skip to what? We at the colonists, right? The colonies and shit like that. Is that where we at now?
Smoke? Yeah, right. Right. They've been given parcels of land to distribute it. This is what I'm thinking. They've been given parcels of land to distribute products back across the way. Not that somebody sent them over here to do that. It's just because, well, they done left people who they fuck with behind. Right.
So do you think when this shit took place, there was still some Negro power structure over there to be able to still have this trade or business chain going on?
I'm saying in 1492, any power structure would have been
no, 1600s colonies.
Yeah, I'm under the impression that would have been Negro.
Still Negro power a little bit.
No, I'm saying majority Negro.
Because listen, let's go back to 1492. We both agreed that these people came over because they was possibly ran out, correct? Is that what we was agreeing on or no?
Yeah, we're agreeing on something occurred to compel niggas to leave.
Okay. And do you think it was an invasion or you think it was something else?
I don't know. I don't know what to think about the ram. I don't know what to think about the situations that could have arose to compel niggas to have to do a combination
of shit, right? It could be a combination of shit.
Right. Niggas probably been over there getting all the bitches or something. You just never know.
Right. And when we say Europe, it may have just been one particular area of Europe, which those one particular area of people would have left. And then other places hit later on, and then those people would have left, creating waves of people coming over here. Correct?
Right.
Is that what we look like? What's going on leading up to the 1600s? These particular waves,
possibly.
And let's think about it. Let's break it down. And if these people were still in control when they was leaving, they leaving to avoid being up under someone else's control, do you think that they would have had slaves under their control before leaving? And if so, would they have brought them slaves with them?
It's possible. It's possible. Whether you call them slaves, employees, whatever you want to call them, apprentices, whatever you want to call them.
Okay. So in reality, then it wouldn't be no such thing as no Black European. These are Aboriginals who lived in Europe.
Are you saying American Aboriginals who lived in Europe? You saying American Aboriginals that lived in Europe? So the reason why I do my own independent evaluation on the historical record, because I don't trust the historical record by any means. I know a lot of you niggas that are advanced, studied, or what have you, but nigga, I don't believe that bullshit. Nah.
Well, I'm not trying to convince you with historical literature. I'm trying to convince you with actual reality that you can see and observe based off of normal circumstances. Like if I say that I know for a fact, Smoke, that your mother and your 100th grandmother came through a woman to come to this planet. Like they was giving birth to another woman. You understand me? Like I don't really got to show you. Like you know that's to be the facts, right?
Right, because it's a logical standpoint. You can't argue that logic, especially that amount of logic.
Well, when you get into some logic, science will try to argue that, right? They'll say at some point in time that process didn't happen, right?
I mean, I can understand them posing an argument, but until they can show another process by which,
right.
Wow, okay, then you have to go with the most logic. You would have to go with the most logical one so you can present one with more logic. Go ahead.
Right, and I'm with you on that. I'm 1,000% with you. So, and that's the way I kind of look at this history, right? Yeah, we use literature for those that want literature reference. But when you look and examine history, you can kind of see the parts that the literature don't fill in, those blanks that they can't fill in. So that's what me and Smoke is doing right now. We're doing critical analyzation of history. Okay. So Smoke, let's get back to these nuances in this walk down to these Aboriginals, right? No, you asked me a question earlier before I stepped away when I said that these people that's returning are so-called Aboriginals, right? From America. Well,
yeah,
you said you don't know, but they got to at least have ties to the Americas. So let's just work right there for a second. What is the likelihood of them being descendants of the people here and returning back to their home?
I'm under the impression that somehow, whether those original cultivators, like y'all say, colonizers, I don't see no need. I just don't see the need for Americans having to colonize places that were less efficient than the places they come from, right? Like if I'm going from
yeah, I don't really say colonize though, Smoke. I like to say just setting up shop, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you go get some land and you go build that, you're not colonizing your neighborhood.
Right. I'm going to a place. I'm going to a place that's less sufficient than where I'm coming from, and all I'm trying to do is bring this motherfucking place up to a standard by which I'm accustomed to. That's all I'm over here doing, right? That's all I'm over here doing.
Okay, so we agreed that these people are possibly descendants of Aboriginals here.
Right.
So would that mean that those stories of Black Europeans coming here are not, in fact, Black Europeans?
Now, this world, I gotta be fair. Because I don't know if I can say Europe was somewhere niggas went that was totally isolated and uninhabited. That's what I don't know. I can't say that logically. Because that would make everybody in Europe basically American.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the people that return, right?
Yeah, now the ones that return because of this discrepancy, I would definitely say they had ties to America. I wouldn't even say blood ties.
The history, I'm just saying, the history said these are Black Europeans. We're saying that these are American descendants now coming back to their homeland. If that's the case, that means there's no Black Europeans coming here. That means that doesn't exist. There's no Black Europeans coming here. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it might have been Black Europeans, but they wouldn't have been Americans. They just would have been Europeans. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And the ones that were returning, was the ones that came from here.
Now, this is where maybe I'm confused. That what make you think that it is Black Europeans?
What makes me think it was Black Europeans because they always they always reverencing the darkness of their origins, black plagues, the dark ages, right? Code talk that lets me know that they really can't identify their most remote past to some white shit. They gotta undermine the white shit to honor their most remote past, right? But it's code language. It's black this and dark that. You know, you feel me?
Right. I'm saying that the original people of that place of that we call Europe of melanated came from somewhere else. There is no original people of that land.
So you saying that niggas went to Europe initially, it was uninhabited then. They didn't encounter any additional groups.
For instance, like New Centinelese Island. You ever heard of that place?
Yeah.
Those people there are not the original peoples of that land. They migrated there.
You talking about them crazy niggas that won't let nobody on their island, right? That's what you talking about.
Yeah, them crazy niggas scared.
So you saying at one time they migrated to that island. It was totally, it was totally void of people, and they just settled there. Know what you saying?
Yeah. Or you can explain to me how those people would have popped up independently on that island.
Okay, so this what I'm saying also. I'm also saying this, that if Europe was uninhabited when niggas got there, right? I'm saying that once they begin to cultivate those areas and getting it up to standard, that other people from around that region would have came.
Okay, so you're saying that it's a mixture, that it's a possibility of Americans would have mixed with other outsiders?
Right, but they still would have been some Negroes, though.
Okay, let's look at it. So if it's the outsiders, we gotta suspect that these are probably hunter and gatherers, since they didn't take the time to build up the area themselves. Correct?
Right, because now, see, we got to do some chronological shit.
Yeah.
When would we say that niggas first went to Europe and began to cultivate? Is we gonna push this shit all the way back to that Algonquin shit?
I want to. I might even want to push it back. Maybe
I think that'll be. But I'm saying I think that'll be the best case scenario.
I mean, yeah, I would want to. That's where I would want to go with it, just to give some reference point, and it'll give some type of credence of why people will even leave their luxurious homeland anyways. Because now we would need a motive of why people would leave in mass to go set up somewhere else anyways. You see what I'm saying? In reality, people just don't leave. You're not going to find a million Black Americans going nowhere for no reason.
Okay, so that would give credence. That'll give credence to some type of catastrophe or calamity or event that will cause people to stretch out. That will cause people to stretch out just in case they needed somewhere else to go.
Let's go 3 different scenarios, and we can deal with probability of why people will leave. Okay.
All right, let's get it.
Famine, meaning not enough food. Invasion of war of some sort, which will force people to move, or some cataclysm, mostly like a natural disaster of some sort.
Okay, so, those are workable hypotheses.
So you got to pick one that will be the most plausible, and that's the one we're gonna rock with. I'm gonna let you pick it though.
I'm going with catastrophe.
Okay.
Like you said, some type of I can't say, I don't know, but if some catastrophe happened that would lead to famine. I mean, you know, famine. If you know a storm came through, like they talking about the ice age or whatever, which I hardly don't agree with, but something like that, or a flood or what have you, which will cause you to be short in your supplies that you was depending on, and you have to stretch out to seek other venues where you can begin to see, right? Where you begin to see and
let's
shit popping off.
Okay. I feel like if we take those three, I feel comfortable enough with saying that famine would be the least likely reason that we would have left.
Okay, so if we knock out famine, they're gonna leave us with war,
invasion, or cataclysm, natural disaster. I'm gonna say the second less likely thing for us to do is to be invaded that ran us out.
So you're going with the cataclysm. You're saying cataclysm is the most likely reason why.
Yes, and I'm gonna use an up-to-date scenario in a microwave or in a micro form. We had the disaster happen in the early 2000s with the Katrina victims, right? Smoke, you with me? With the Katrina hurricane victims in New Orleans. That disaster hit and it displaced people, whether they wanted to go or not. They was displaced in various different places. So the motive of why they left was because of the cataclysm to leave their homeland.
My bad, somebody hit the door.
Now you good? Shit. I don't know if you heard me though. Did you hear what I said? Yeah, he might have stepped away again. But yeah, man, I think that's what it will be, man. I think it will be most likely a cataclysm. So let's walk this shit down. We here with Smoke, man. We in the building with the professor, man. Hit that like button.
Okay, so now let's pinpoint it then. Okay, a cataclysm.
I gave you a scenario with the Katrina shit.
I can rock with a cataclysm. Are we saying that a cataclysm occurred that compelled niggas to go out, or was a cataclysm coming and niggas was trying to avoid it? Which one?
Okay. See, now we're getting into the particulars, right? So I brought up the New Orleans hurricane scenario as a simple, close resemblance, but in a micro form, right? The New Orleans cataclysm happened in New Orleans, and it forced these people to be displaced. And to answer your question as well, they also foreseen it. Some people just weren't able, didn't have the means, the funds, or the whereabouts to go nowhere else. You see what I'm saying?
I got you.
So now let's walk it down some more, Spot. Where we at? So we got a motive of why people would have left, right? So now we explaining that these people went over there. So now we got to break down why I believe that nobody was there when we got there. That there's no Aboriginal peoples to that area of Europe that we're talking about, of that part of the Eastern Hemisphere.
You think people went there because the place was inhospitable, or what?
I just don't think that every inch of the planet had people organically pop up there. That would leave no room for growth or even migration at all.
Okay, I mean this sounds mathematically plausible. Go ahead.
Nigga funny as hell. But listen though, so what do you think though, Smoke? Let's get your mind though. What do you think though?
I'm saying, I mean, if I don't reject a logical inference, so I can't reject yours. I can rock with it until I can say, well, no, that don't make no sense right there. I can't make that part make sense. So you ain't did that shit.
Right, but do you got another reason or you got another synopsis
No,
on it?
no,
Like maybe it
no. I'm
was
just saying
people
we both
already
gonna
there.
work. We both gonna work with the logic till we get somewhere where we can't work with the logic. So let's just work
Okay,
with the
all
logic.
right.
We on the
All right.
logic, yeah.
All right, so they there. They setting up shop, they building. Now we getting into let's just say 7,000 years ago now. We went from 12, now we at 7. It's building. It's up. Shit is cracking. You feel what I'm saying? Or at least trying to. What are you with that or no?
No. Say that again. Say that again. I think you hit something.
At what point in time do we see building? Let's just work there. Let's go there. At what point in time? So we got the movement going on, and this is another thing that we got to talk about with history, though, Smoke. As we look at history, everything is not documented for every year in history. There's a couple years in the history that there's nothing documented, archaeologically, anthropologically, even geographically.
Okay, I would agree that the farther you go back, the less documentation you'll be able to find.
Okay. So at what point in time do we start seeing actual living civilization societies in Europe? At what point in time?
Okay. If a mass amount of the Americans were compelled to migrate, and we're talking about this Algonquin hypothesis, I would say after man, it's hard to say, man, because we don't know the means by which they were cultivated. We don't know how advanced they were, how quickly they can get things done. But if we just be practical, and say niggas was just, elbow grease standards. I give them a couple of millennia to have everything up and running. And everything being progressive from that point.
Okay, so the earliest site that we find in Europe, the oldest site that we find in Europe, I'm Googling it now, is Göbekli Tepe.
And that's dated at what?
That's dated at 9,000 years, 7 to 9,000 years.
Okay, that's a little longer than I estimated, but close enough for just a random estimation.
What's your you said a couple millennials from 12,000, right?
Right.
That'll put you right around there, though.
Well, I said close but no cigar, but you know what I'm saying? That's just if I'm saying niggas had to use elbow grease to get shit done.
Right.
You got to start making your own tools and shit because you had to abandon all your shit back home. Right.
Yeah, but it'd also be a time for all the knowledge that you did remember, that you could remember, that you brought from the other side in your past understandings. That would be the perfect time as you rebuilding to show some of your craftsmanship, some of the skills and things that you had already learned.
And you can start using your own imagination and intuitive skills, which means not only are you building of what you already know, but you implement your own ideas because you are responsible for an original construct. So you're gonna add your own little spice to it.
Now you absolutely right. And I feel like they will also try to give a record of what happened and at least the time that it happened to them. If they was able to regather and leave a whole continent and regather their burns to try to rebuild civilization, they would have been smart enough to have a record, a sense of time. You think?
Yeah, hold on. My cousin back there cussing the game out. He loud in the motherfucker.
Now you good. You good. Tell cuz do his thing. Keep cussing, goddamn.
Now say that again.
Shit. Damn, I forgot what the hell I just said again.
We was talking about how you put your own little fingerprint on shit you was doing since you in a new area, and you probably would have to improvise a little bit.
So what would be the first thing to do after you get to the other side and you got your bearings? Is it to rebuild? What's the first thing you're rebuilding?
First of all, you're gonna have to have your own little shelter. You're gonna need your own food source. Right? Those things would have been mandatory. You've been working on that off the rip, off the boat. As soon as you jump off the boat or whatever transport you was utilizing, you getting right to that. All hands on deck.
So all right, now let's bring in this. Would the people from the Americas be the only ones to be affected?
Okay, we talking about the effect of a cataclysm.
Yes, since whatever reason had to move, would other people been affected? And I got another question.
I'm saying this, right, to make it logical in my purview. If we talking about a worldwide cataclysm and people being compelled to have to leave their ancestral homelands, everybody under that circumstance will have to seek the most usable area to begin to rebuild. So they wouldn't just apply to Americans if it was more than, if this was some type of worldwide event. Everybody in that who fell up under that particular event would have to be compelled to go, and find somewhere. So if you suggesting that a mixed multitude was gathering in a central location because of some type of worldwide event?
I'm saying, what's the likelihood of a bunch of people gathering because of a cataclysm at one particular spot?
I couldn't rule it out.
Almost becoming like a safety shelter,
right?
But for the globe, humanity.
Yeah, I couldn't rule it out. So you saying that maybe some type of joint effort was comprised, and that's how you get the differences in architecture?
I'm saying that maybe even a combined understanding of architecture. Maybe a combined, you see what I'm saying? Where two different cultures then came together, came with a plan, and this was their plan to build this structure of what memory they can bring back, that they can restore and try to make manifest.
So are you other impression that if this is a legitimate hypothesis, are you saying that under that perspective, that if they were successful enough, that there would be no need for them to even return until something else transpired that compelled them to? Like they just would have settled, everything cool. We got this place up and running. We straight now.
Well, we can only.
It took us a couple of thousand years, right? I'm just saying we good.
And so
I feel you.
Now that could be the case, but let's theorize just a little bit more. Now you just made me think. What if when they left initially, they never thought it was anything to ever come back to? Like when they first left, they like, man, it's done. Like it's nothing. It's destroyed. And so, what if the story that they kept around is that their landmass was destroyed, but in reality, it wasn't completely. It was able to recover in somewhat.
Damn, that's an interesting concept right there. That changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah, but then again, it kind of goes with some of the said narrative, like Solon from Egypt, Plato from the Greek. Let's replace Atlantis with America and see if that story fits. Supposedly this great civilization and the survivors that made it to the other side tell the story that it was totally destroyed.
Right, it'll fit in that situation. It would fit. It'll fit. It's plausible to fit right there. Somebody passing on stories about a place that they actually from, and by the time this story reaches people that are not actually from that place, it's so exaggerated because they can't get it from the original storyteller, right? It becomes this place of what you call it, like of like lore of like a folk tale.
Right.
They add more emphasis to the story. Not saying that the story wasn't phenomenal in the first place. It's just by the time it gets down to 2,500 years later, this becomes like heaven on earth.
It becomes heavy with poetic literature. It becomes romanticized and ultimately mythologized in the mind of the people as a myth.
Right.
But in reality, it's a memory of an actual event that affected people that they didn't want to go away.
So that would infer, let's keep the story logical. That would infer that America was already built prior to the places the Americans would have went. That makes sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, I feel you. To a certain magnitude as well. Probably why they finding so many.
They would have had to. They would have had to, though. Think about it, Smoke. How do you go somewhere else and start off building if you hadn't already been building? There's no break in the chronology. There's no development going on. They already got it. Especially when you go to places like Göbekli Tepe. How you building a building like that 9,000 years ago? There's not even the developed structures in that area that show like, boom, this is the precursor.
Göbekli Tepe is impressive. I ain't gonna lie.
The pillars alone, and it's only 10% excavated. 90% you ain't even seen. And according to the Turkey government, you won't see it for another 100 years. They're not planning on doing any excavation there for another 100 years. So
I get it. Right, because it take 100 years. It take 100 years to eradicate an entire. I get it. Right, that 100-year thing. That's how long it take to erase the memory of a generation. So the generation that's aware of this structure and its magnitude will be long gone by the time they can just start unearthing the rest of the information. I feel you. But go ahead.
Yeah, because it's going to tell a story. You'll have to rewrite history.
Right, and in 100 years, it'll be too late to rewrite the history. It's the issue that we have in today with so many niggas not wanting to give up on the fallacy. Right? They just look at it like, nah, man, we got a history. I'm finna give this history up for some shit y'all niggas coming up with now. Whether it's true or not, look, we're just gonna stick to the history we got. So I get it. I get it why they will say 100 years.
And so let's look at Göbekli Tepe. And let's just say this is the work of these Aboriginal Americans that left due to this cataclysm. Okay? And listen, before we continue, man, this moonshine is kicking, y'all. Hit that like button, drop a fire emoji if you're still in here rocking out with Bap and Smoke. Man, this is officially the Bap and Smoke show. We ain't did one in a minute, neither, Smoke. We ain't did one in a minute.
Yeah, we back in. Dynamic duo.
Yeah, we ain't did one in a minute. So make sure y'all hit that like button, show your live stream. And so let's keep going, Smoke. Where we at? Where we at with it? We at Göbekli Tepe, the building. Now, I believe just the building of Göbekli Tepe let you know that whoever those people who built that had prior knowledge of building already. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. That's not a trial, right? Even if you're just going to say trial and error, you would have to be able to show the trial and error. You can't just show me the completed functional structure and say, "Oh, this was trial and error." So yeah, you have to admit that this was from an experienced building group. You got it.
Well, and the big question is that I want to ask, because Göbekli Tepe is covered up and it haven't been excavated. Was it? Some people suspect that it was deliberately covered up.
Oh man, see, that's a whole different dynamic as well. Okay, I would like to know where they got that theory from. Whether I can see why it would be purposely covered up if somebody was coming along and didn't want average Joes knowing antiquity. I get it. If you ushering in some type of new system that you are the founder of, you want to keep that. Yeah, you want to keep that system functioning at its highest capacity. You don't want niggas doing no independent, energy harvesting, undermining your project. So I get it. I get the. Yeah, I get the implementation of covering shit up.
Right. It makes sense. It makes sense to me. So, all right, they covered. Okay, but what they have discovered is like 43 different pillars. And a lot of these pillars indicate certain symbols. A couple of them they have, in fact, identified and broke down. A couple of those are religious symbols. quite a bit of religious symbols, different religious symbols. So smoke, what that almost indicates is that people from various different parts of America with different spiritual beliefs all funnel caked into one area and all chipped in on the building of this place. What you think about that?
I got static in the background.
You good. Hey man, y'all hit that like button, support the channel, man. Cash App information is pinned at the top of the live stream. Make sure y'all check it in. Hey, it's free smoke too, man. It's free smoke too. I'm gonna drop the link in just a second for anybody that do want to pop on. I am going to drop the link in the chat for anybody that do want to pop on. So shout, big yourself up. I see you in the chat, Darvis, Reginald Jones, Anthony Lowe. I see y'all up in here. Then crept up in, Colette. Jeremy,
all right,
Roy.
man. Can you give me a synopsis on what you were saying prior to you asking me that question? Because I missed all of it.
I forgot what the hell I asked, but shit.
Damn. You was going off of.
But this whole conversation, for those don't know, it led in from the Christopher Columbus conversation. Don't ask me how we got here, because it took us about 1 hour and 36 minutes. So I'm not.
Yeah, we got here because we questioned the Christopher Columbus narrative, right? But you was asking some very interesting questions concerning why do I disagree with it, and it just led us down this old slippery slope. But it is what it is.
And most of the reasons you disagree with it is most of the reasons I disagree with it. You see what I'm saying? But when I ask for tangible proof, people kind of don't really show it. But it's all good. We'll get them there. Y'all learning. And I'm proud of y'all. Each and every one of y'all in the chat. Keep doing y'all thing. Real nigga shit. But listen, Smoke. So where we at with it, man? Let's keep cooking. Let's go to where we want to go.
Let's just draw a line through the circle we was going on and go back to the beginning point, right? Where this Aboriginal Indian thing is being separated.
Okay, we'll revisit this. The getting to Europe. We'll revisit. Let's revisit the topic. But we made it pretty far, so we know where we at with it.
Right, we had the covering up of Go Bickley.
Yeah, we gotta go back to Teppy. Perfect. So we'll revisit that. But now let's get to this Indian Aboriginal topic. Which one has more power? And you can't say both. You gotta pick one. Does Indian have more power than Aboriginal, or does Aboriginal have more power than Indian when using it?
I think Indian has more power if you're going to tie yourself into this specific tribal affiliation. If you're not going to do that, ain't no need of you trying to pick sides over Indian and Aboriginal, because you'll just be saying the same damn thing.
So if you're not, so I didn't get that, Small. I didn't get a clear answer, brother. I'm sorry. I mean, that was a good one.
Like if you're saying I'm Indian, people gonna be like, "Well, what tribe you from? Who your chief?" See, all that comes from being an Indian.
Which one has more power? Aboriginal? Could you explain the Aboriginal?
What I'm saying, if you're saying Aboriginal, you just tying yourself to the people that always been here. It don't matter whether you know your tribal affiliation or you got a chief or not. Because once you tie yourself to people that always been here, or you can't tie yourself to people who not from here, then to me that automatically make you Aboriginal. Like if it ain't nowhere in your story that your ancestors came from Europe or Asia or Africa or Australia, then nigga, you from here. You have to get here some kind of way, right?
Right, I'm with you.
So I'm saying in that instance, Aboriginal would be your go-to identity.
Interesting. So what do you say to people that say, I'm not no damn Albo, I'm an Indian. I'm an American Indian. What do you say to that?
Okay, see, I look at that as you saying that you have some affiliations with a particular Indian nation or tribe, but it's more political than it is ethnological because we know that Indians was the people that was always here. Now, by you having some type of affiliation with them through whatever means that you got that affiliation, don't necessarily mean you proceed forth from the people that was always here. Just means somehow you got tied into a tribal affiliation and you conduct yourself according to those particular customs and or culture. That's all I can draw. That's all I can draw out of it. If you're saying you're not Aboriginal with your Indian shit, because Aboriginal has a definition. If you're saying you're not that definition, then you're saying you're not that definition.
Would you consider them tying yourself to the original Indian tribes or to the Native Americans, what we would consider to be Native American tribes?
Well, the original Indian tribes would be in Aboriginal. So if you're saying you're not that, then what you doing here? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? You can't tie yourself to somebody else's culture. Right. You can't tie yourself into the people that always been here.
So you little TP ass Indians, stop saying y'all not Aboriginal, nigga. Y'all Aboriginal. And y'all can be y'all American Indian too, but claim y'all Aboriginality, bro. That's a word I made up and it's going in the dictionary. Claim your Aboriginality, bro.
I'm saying I say Indian based off the Aboriginal perspective. That's just what they call, or that's what niggas was called as pertaining to always being here.
Right. I understand that. So I'm with you.
But I'm also not of the opinion that somebody came and just said, y'all Indian.
Who was the term Indian applied to? The second peoples that was here on this land, or the first peoples that was here?
I'm saying it's sort of like it's complicated like American, right? Originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored people found here by Europeans. Now applied to the descendants of Europeans born here. Right. So with those two applications, you see there's a distinction within the definition of an American. You can tie yourself to being an American one or two ways. You're the descendant of a European born here.
You can either be a white one or a black one, in other words.
Now, I'm also of the opinion that initially that didn't have nothing to do with white people. I don't think white people can logically refer to themselves as American.
You just threw a monkey wrench in the game. I like that perspective. Let's go back to the black European conversation. Are they? Is this a way?
That's what I'm saying.
Is this a way for the distant cousins to get their identity back?
Right. After being gone so long, but still related to the Aboriginals of America, I can see how that can be misconstrued to reconsider their plight and get ushered back into Americanness by confirming that, hey, we are Americans of European descent because now we descend from Europeans because that's where we've been for so long. I'm
Oh,
saying
it makes sense. So that would prove furthermore that these returnees were not in fact Europeans, but Americans.
I think that's the only way that Americans would have sat back and allowed that to happen.
Damn, I never thought of it from that goddamn perspective, Smoke.
So it gives validity to the Black European argument.
Somewhat, yeah, a little bit, but not accurately though. But I mean, accurate. I mean, misnomerly European.
Right, because those people returning would have only known Europe, would have only known European culture because that would have been
where they grew up their whole life. But in reality, they're American though.
Right.
And now that they're here back in their land, you got to identify them as such. That's what I get from the definition now that you just said so.
Right, that's the only way I can reconcile that definition because there's no way you can take two different demographics and call them the same thing.
Same thing. God dang, you killing it, bruh. See, that's why I like doing these motherfucking shows this Smoke.
I've given this considerable thought, and for people to be sitting around and saying this foreign group can now identify as what the fuck I am would either mean that the original people capitulated or the people who were coming had this relationship with them already.
Right. But hold on. If hold on, Smoke. Let's break this shit down. Because you saying they wouldn't have shared, they would have had a different culture, right? But let's break this shit down. If they came from America, right? They was practicing American culture when they left. When they got there, they would have still been practicing American culture, correct?
Right. Initially, yes.
At what point in time do it switch, or do it even switch? And maybe that's why they can tell that these people were these people.
I'm saying, if we're going off the hypothesis that the people didn't know America was still functional,
right.
Customarily they would have started developing their own subculture based on it, right? It gives them the space and opportunity to just be innovative because you can't actually you can't actually practice American. I say it's virtually impossible to practice American culture without America.
Okay.
I mean, you can say it's close to it as you possibly can, but without America, it's kind of hard to pull off. Yeah, you have to compromise with the environment that you have.
Do people practice American culture that's not in America right now?
Yes, some people practice American culture, and they're not even Americans by any means, but it doesn't mean that they have abandoned their culture as well. I think they kind of adopt some American culture and fuse that in with their own cultures. So it's not entirely American.
Okay, no, I'm with you. So we know American culture can be practiced outside of America, right? Now, if Americans that only practice American culture left out of America, you saying that they will practice American culture, but through generations, it will change.
Yeah, it would deviate because they would have to adopt new customs based off their environment.
But will they keep some traditions the same from the root of what they once practiced?
I would say that American spirit and or attitude would pervade. It will become less and less distinctive, but it can always be drawn upon because you would understand that what you are is not what you are encountering from other people because they would lack that.
And I believe that's what happens in normal society. So, okay, I like that. I like that. So you will be able to tell amongst these people here, and at some point in time with this encounter, we would have seen something that been like, damn, nigga, you just like, hold on, where you your peoples, fam? You think it's like that, or we already knew that these people was our people?
Now say that again.
Like on the first encounter, do we know these people as our people, or did it take some time for us to peek them and be like, damn, they doing some shit? How they know how to do it like how we do it? That's so my granddaddy used to do it like this. You feel what I'm saying?
I think if we go on with the hypothesis that when they return, that they had been gone this significant amount of time, I'm thinking that what they had been told or what had been recorded concerning the people that they left, if they had any valid information that they can convey once they return, that it just would have been understood. Like, if you saying something that only niggas in America could possibly know, right? Oh, only American can know this shit. What was going on back then, right? Only some American motherfuckers could have known that. I think they would have gave them credence. Even if the culture had deviated to a point that it was damn near unrecognizable, given that possibility. Just by them knowing some shit that would have been passed on down orally or recorded.
That only the family would have knew type shit.
Right.
And so that would have sparked.
And I'm also under the impression that they had artifacts,
relics, some type of relics.
Right. Even names passed on down that the people in America would have been passing on down as well. Like, there had to be some degree of separation of Americans
Is that why people may be even confused that we get our names from Europeans, but in retrospect, the European names are just ancient American names?
See, all type of connections can be made if we go along with this hypothesis right here.
I mean, we going with it. We said we're gonna go till we can't go. They keep going back. I'm finding. I mean, these connections, you can't find connections with everything, but these are pretty distinct connections, if you ask me. Because these are the stuff. Because within every lie, there's a little truth. So I'm using the mainline story and trying to find what possibly could be the little truth in the story.
It's even why I'm saying we have this discrepancy in the linguistical report. Because if Americans would have ventured out, they still would have only known their language and they would have spoken. But as they start encountering other groups, even the language becomes compromised, right? There's some elements of Germanic being infused with American language. To the degree somebody can say, hey, them people kind of talk like them people over there. So
that's why I wanted to get you at. That's why I wanted to get you at. So as Americans are there on the other side, let's just say, and obviously they built the shit that we see, and other people that was there obviously didn't build, and we can possibly say wasn't capable of building, correct? So we'll say hunter and gatherer. Can we say that or no?
I would say less developed. I don't.
What like
hunter and gather, right? Hunter and gather gives the impression that man is at a base level, right above animalistic. Right? You got on a grass skirt, a squirrel, right? You sleeping in trees.
Well, we are talking about the Eastern Hemisphere.
I'm saying there are
record has the most documented hunter and gatherer tribes in 2025.
Okay, then that's just what I'm saying. Now we know that the East is way less developed than the so-called West.
So but now we also go back thousands of years ago now. So we talking thousands of years ago in the development of the people there. So I'm saying if they less developed now, imagine how they was during those times. Do you see where I'm going with this, Smoke?
Okay, but I'm also of the impression that the whole East was not hunter-gatherer. I'm of the impression that there were isolated groups, maybe regional groups that were reduced to hunting and gathering, depending on their environment. Like you got places where development is problematic. You don't have the material. Right? You don't like there's parts of Africa. There's parts of Africa that's barren. It's hard to develop in that type of environment. You have less to work with. You can only build according to what the land can produce.
At some point in time, I feel like we're gonna get to the hunter and gatherer part, because I don't even believe that there was intelligent civilizations or even civilization going on in nowhere prior to people that was already being civilized bringing it there.
Okay, but that would beg me to ask you the question, right? Is that based off environment, or is that based off some people being more intelligent? And if that's the case, that's gonna take us to some Hebrew shit, bro. A chosen people type shit. So I'm careful when I walk that rope, because I don't want to fall over. You feel me?
Well,
so what I'm saying is that people can only be developed as the environment that they in, right? You can't, like, if you in jail, you ain't finna have no double door refrigerator. You feel me? You can improvise, right? You can sneak ice back to the kitchen.
What I'm saying is these places that claim that's the harsh environments that you wouldn't be able to build civilization there, and there are civilizations there. Do you see what I'm saying? Just not.
Yeah, but you just have the opinion. The reason why civilizations there is because they encountered American niggas. That's what you saying, right?
Yes.
I feel you. I feel you on that. But this is my hypothesis, that there were some advanced civilizations in the East if they had the environment that would have supported that advancement. Like, you can go to Africa.
Let's use Africa for instance. Let's use the Congo. It's known for its lush vegetation, great soil, food source. always been known as that.
But it's not developed by any means, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay.
And the development come from the indigenous people of that area.
Okay, but if that's the case, how long have they been in contact with developed people? If they have this productive environment. See, I'm saying they've been known developed people long enough to be developed, fully developed. So how do we explain that particular scenario?
Say that one more time for me, Smoke. I'm trying to break it down. Say it one more time.
Okay, so we're saying Congo has this lush environment.
Right.
That would debunk that would debunk my hypothesis concerning development is based off having the material to develop. That's my hypothesis. Having the material to develop would prompt development by all means necessary. Now, the reason why environment that has these materials wouldn't be developed, well, one can only say that it's because of the people who inhabit the environment. Then there's no other conclusion that I can draw logically. I mean, I can draw some other conclusions, but that would be my most logical one.
So let's take a hunter and gatherer tribe today, like the Hazard tribe. We show them all the time eating monkeys and shit, Smoke, right? They've been around and constant, and maybe even somewhat picking up on civilization customs, like wearing pants sometimes, flip flops sometimes. You see what I'm saying? They having these interactions. And they've always had the means to build civilization there. South Africa is a pretty decent place.
Okay, so I mean, so I have to agree. That maybe there are people that don't have the propensity to develop.
Right, and I'm saying that if you do see people developing, they're not from the Eastern Hemisphere.
I get you. I just want to be fair, but I want to use. But I want to use.
Cover the whole.
I want to use. I want this to be based. I want this to be based on some logical inferences, though. So I agree with you. There's no logical explanation for people in a lush environment with the material.
But you got to realize. So now let's use the cataclysm, because now we're using the cataclysm thing for the reason, right? I'm gonna go back to that just for briefly. So these people are trying to rebuild. At some point in time, maybe they lived in close proximity to other people. Smoke. Let me run that back, because earlier I said it wasn't no people there, right? But what if it was people there, but they was hunter and gatherer, or way less civilized than us? Would the people that is civilized, would they have then engulf the non-civilized and maybe teach them some of their ways?
Make them kings.
And would the less
that would kind of make
teach the
that would make them lord.
Would the less civilized be able to teach the civilized people some things? Because when you civilize, there's some things. For instance, let's take civilized people like me and you, Smoke. We civilized, right? You can say yourself a civilized motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I'm very well developed.
And we know that maybe not too far from us, there's some people that's less civilized than us, maybe living in the woods or living in a camp or a tent or something like that, right?
We ain't gotta speculate on that. We already know it's hunters and gatherers right now to today.
Right. So, all right. Now, if all else was the fails,
What I don't see, this what
I want to give a scenario. I want to give a scenario. If all else fails, Smoke, right now, and we had to resort back to no technology, we had to rebuild and restart. We have a full reset. Would the people that's less primitive be able to help you out in some circumstances?
Yes, they would.
And would you be able to help them out in certain circumstances?
Yes.
That's
it'll work both ways.
That's what I'm saying happened.
Okay, we talking people here, though, right? People have a peculiar condition. What I'm accustomed to, right? You could be right that only applies to some people. Maybe other people don't have this peculiar condition that compels them toward progress, right? You got a house, you want a car to go with it. Once you get the house and the car, you want other things, right? You want to accessorize it.
Right.
You might want to build more houses to bring more cars to it. You know, we're always thinking in advance because we are advanced. Just comes with the territory.
Correct.
Why wouldn't other people, right? Because they're supposed to be people of the species Homo sapiens sapien, right? They be supposed to share these particular traits. Why wouldn't these people progress? What's the difference?
Well, it's almost like trying to take a laptop to an Amazonian uncontacted tribe and just giving them the laptop and giving them two directions. Get on StreamYards so we can talk. How long do you think it would take for those people to get on StreamYards to talk with us? An uncontacted tribe.
That it wouldn't be no StreamYard for them. They'll never figure it out.
And so with advanced people trying to teach unadvanced people things that advanced people know, it might be too far in between for them to even understand, to even start to learn. Maybe just the learning of to be civilized or civilization. Maybe
that goes back to my question. How are some people inclined towards progress and others aren't? How does that happen?
Well, I believe that the people that you see is having progress come from people that already was progressing.
Okay, so let me reform my question in. What would make the other people that wasn't progressing non-progressive? What causes that? What is the...
It's that thing. It's that thing that you was talking about earlier, Smoke. When you say you around people and they don't got what you got, you didn't name what it was, but they just don't got it. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. You see what I'm saying?
Drive, ambition, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
In a flow that's cold, I came here to save your life.
Where do you think that came from? Is it innate in some people and not in others?
Sometimes we know that environment could play a small impact on your genetics, but overall, I think it just might be the genetics, bro.
Damn, bro. Saying not the same people by no means whatsoever.
I mean, we're coded different. Your DNA is a strand of code that we don't really feel.
Man, where that code, man? Where you think that code came from, bro? Where you think that code came from?
Well, if it's a code, that means that it was somebody had the put that code together. That means it was a program.
Right. You
gotta have a program. Yeah, so
a designer.
Yeah, every coder,
every
code that I know that's in a computer or mechanism system has a program. Right. So I don't know.
There we go. So that would mean that advanced people are the product of advanced people. And non-advanced people, what would they be the product of?
Non-advanced people.
So you got a non-advanced programmer? See how? I know. You get it? I know it get a little nuance.
We're talking about less advanced. What extremely less advanced. So that's like
a pinto, like a pinto to a like somebody made like some people pinto
today. That's like giving a kid today a beeper from the early 80s. You give a kid that was born in fucking during the COVID, I don't know, 2000s, right? They're not gonna understand how to work a beeper, bro.
Even if they do, it'd be impractical. Like, nigga, you can just call me on my phone. Fuck you beeping me for? You beeping me. I gotta look at the beeper, then grab my phone and call you, nigga. No, nigga, just call me. So it would be, it'd be futile trying to revisit that technology and when we passed it.
That's what I'm trying to say. So the people whoever programmed these less advanced people.
Okay, so now we got to get back. So now we got to go back to this Indian shit.
Okay,
right? You saying that nobody from the East is as progressive as the people genetically from the West? What's the likelihood that they can come here, pull up, and get the name in motherfuckers? Like from henceforth, y'all gonna be Indians. No, there's no two words about it. From now on, y'all Indians. What's the likelihood of that transpiring?
Of less developed people?
Right, of less developed people naming more developed people. What's the likelihood of that happening? And the more advanced people be like, well, that's a good idea. Maybe we should start calling ourselves Indians.
That's if you under the impression that less advanced people came over here. But them coming over here will show the fact that they're not that less advanced. So you see what I'm saying, Smoke? Just the act of them coming here shows that they're not that. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So now, the only other thing you can be saying is that the people that were said to arrive or explore were people that was already from here.
Descendants of, right.
Right, descendants of people.
Or maybe
already
from a combination of mixtures. Maybe
let's go with it.
Maybe a mixture with the less advanced people with the less advanced people. Maybe a advanced mixed with a less advanced, and a combination of therefore and so on.
Right. So with that, keeping that in mind, would that compel them to identify differently?
Yeah, they will have a different
because of that. Right, because of that genetic makeup,
they will have a different programming of thinking.
Right. Okay. Even though they
got a little half, this is that they have to have. Right. It's still not the full development of thinking.
Okay.
It can't be.
So I'm still under the impression that even if that did occur, that the more advanced genetically structured people would tell those people who the fuck they were. Right? It wouldn't have no two words about it. No, motherfucker, you're not gonna come back over here telling me who the fuck I am. Yeah, we're not doing that. I'm gonna tell you who I am, and you can go report back to where you from and let them know that's what we said about it. It's cool. I understand that you loosely related by some means, but that don't mean you just get to.
Yeah, but I don't agree. I don't agree with that came over here and called you Indians and all that shit because you got earlier accounts from 1504, 1519, 1526, and these encounters with the people calling themselves whatever they call themselves.
Right. That's the only. I mean, logically, that's the only thing I can.
And that name was Americos, Amerique, and different derivatives of.
Right. Because I'm pretty sure that when these people were said to have been kicked out or expelled, that they would have gone to the places that they were most familiar with. Hence.
Well, even if they weren't familiar with it, they would go to a place that at least ancestors would have felt comfortable going back to, or that they heard about one that they would have went back to.
Well, see, I'm under the impression, but it's hard to say. Because if they was thinking that there wasn't no need to return, so a lot of information would have got left behind. Right. They were only...
Yeah. I mean, if they were scrambling for their life and trying to, save themselves, there would have been a lot of shit left behind. Only necessity shit would have been brought.
Right. And there's also the possibility that everybody who needed to come wasn't able to come. Because we're talking about an event of that magnitude.
Yeah, everybody wouldn't have been able to afford to come.
Right. It wouldn't have been enough means to get everybody. If we talking about a level 1 event, level 2, level 3, where motherfuckers just got to go. It's over with.
Right.
You missed this train, it's over with.
Right. Then yeah. People just want, like I said, you have people trying to do whatever they can to try to survive, either get low or get high. That's what people usually do in the need of crisis. Get real low or go real high. One or two.
Yes.
I think we can drop the link right now.
Go ahead, see if somebody want to join this hypothesis.
I dropped the link right now. We'll give y'all a little chance to hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. Smash that like button, family. Thumb up the video. Support the motherfucking channel. All right. It's your brother Big Bappy Tom. Hey, listen, man, like I said, make sure y'all smack that like button. Definitely need y'all to smack that like button and support the channel. All right. We're going to play a little jammy jam. Make sure y'all share the live stream. I think my brother Chief still live over there. I might go cook with him in a second. But we'll be right back.
Yo, AB, you stacking up.
What they mean, I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like a Neva. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil. Hey, I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like a Neva. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil. Get the green, goes to sing, man, I got this. In the streets pulling stunts for that fortune. Scorch the beat when I spit, man, I tore shit. You don't wanna feel the pain that I record with. Yeah, we did it on our own, no endorsements. Shit get hard, we don't stop, we don't forfeit. But these streets made a nigga so heartless. Shit dark, but my light shine regardless. Yeah. And you can keep the nonsense. Survive for a living, rap something I have fun with. You can have the fame, I'm so way beyond it. Don't know who to trust, so I can't go unless the gun fit. Even then, you still better watch who you run with. They see you with potential, try to put you on dumb shit. Won't strike like a zebra, but regrets is what it come with. Lost blood, sweat, tears, and a whole bunch of dumb shit. Fuck they mean, I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like a Neva. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil. Hey, I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like Carnival. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil. Pulling schemes like Madoff, stunts like Knievel. Married to the streets, no prenup, I can't leave her. Taking off, try to keep up and I speed up. Squad made of bosses, we ain't need no one to lead us. We tried it, but deeper in the slums where that led us. Don't let them see you hurt, you gotta keep your head up. Gotta keep my head up, yeah. Found knowledge on my own, cause ain't nobody show me better. I'm just thinking logically, that's knowledge over cheddar. Don't move by their rules, so they label me the devil. They hate to see my people with intelligence and cleverness. Don't feed me with your doctrine, don't play with my intelligence. Dropping knowledge on my people, won't deceive them like the priest. I'm a good nigga, but inside it's a beast. Trying to chase that root of evil, made a monster out of me. When you see me in the streets, they be the monster that you see. But they mean I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like Knievel. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil. Hey, I got stripes like Adidas. In the streets pulling stunts like Knievel. Full speed to that root of all evil. Good nigga, but the streets turned us evil.
Yep. Hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the channel. Shout out to my brother Simple Amazing, man. That was some fire music, bro. Like I said earlier, I know you didn't want to answer my question, Simp. Nigga, when can I get the official bout song, man? I need a song particular, what they call them, jingles, nigga. You gonna create a bout jingle, my nigga? I need a custom made one, my nigga. Hey, Little Shoulders in the building. What's the word, fam?
Chillin', what they do.
I can't call it. Copper Cow.
Yo.
Kyle, what's the word, gang?
Hey, nothing much.
Man, good to see you in here with us, bro. All is well. So how y'all brothers feel about the conversation me and Smoke was having?
I feel like you're touching on what I've been saying. That Bible is a beast that made the white man's body type, genetical profile, and it's a lesser model than the original prototype.
I actually want to build on that too, because if we're talking about that the Americas at some point in history, I'm not really clear on the timeline for this, but if we basically created a satellite colony in what we call Europe today, and there either were indigenous Europeans there, probably the ancient Britons, like the Britons, or it was an empty landmass, because I do think about population distribution, like you brought up earlier, Ab Power. Like maybe there were places around the world. There's no way everybody was everywhere. There could have been empty spots.
That's true. So, all right, let's just deal with the Black Britons, right? I'm saying if Americans was the first people in that land, they're the original people of that land. Still.
Oh, you're saying that. So in a sense,
so what you would call a Carthaginian, what you would call an ancient Briton, what you would call a Novatic German, you see what I'm saying? Or just later on titles.
Oh, I can
much
see
like
that.
The original Romans wouldn't have been originally Rome. These black people that you saying the Macedonians ain't really Macedonians. The Phoenicians ain't really Phoenicians. These are just another names after generations and waves and eras come about.
Wait, so do you think this could connect to what Benjamin Franklin was saying in 1751 about, it was in his essay, Observations Concerning the Increase of Mankind, and he was basically talking about how like white people were like such a small portion of the world's population. They were like, why should America, where they had just settled in when they came in as slaves, why should we work in our region like the rest of the planet?
Yeah, I got that letter somewhere in my archives, but yeah, and that's later on in the 1800s.
Do you have an idea of timeline-wise when Americas could have made that colony out towards, I guess, what we're calling like the modern.
Okay, let's say
West.
I think me and Smoke agree, right? Smoke, do we agree on the initial time period that we would have left Americas? Do we agree on the 12,500 or the 11,500, give or take?
I'm not bound to the particular time frame. I'm just saying, if that type of event were to transpire, it would have necessitated that type of travel. Whether it was 11,000 years ago.
Well, the brother just trying to get a time frame because there's allegedly so-called black Brits and black people in these areas. So we're trying to get a timeline. Either is this happening right before, during, after, or before?
After.
I'm gonna say this. Well, yeah, if the Brits, I'm gonna say that all that came afterwards. So I'm saying that this shit happened roughly around 12,000 years ago. The little homie left out. I don't know if Smoke booted him.
No, I didn't do nothing.
Oh, down your internet kick you out. Yeah, come back in.
There you go, AP.
Oh, okay. You can.
Yeah, I got disconnected.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the 11,000, 12,000 year frame, give or take.
Okay, so if we go with that, I think that gives us plenty of enough time for us to. Well, okay, that's what messes me up, because even regardless of timeline, it still brings the question up to me that I'm not clear on. Where did white people come from? Like, is it
who come from? White people?
Like a mutation or something from the new environment of Europe, with it being colder and whatnot, so they wouldn't need melanin, or is that not even true? This idea that our phenotype.
That's actually a really good question, and I teeter-tot between some of my theories on this and hypotheses. But before I get into maybe one or two of those, I will allow some of the other brothers to briefly answer that question. Where do y'all think white people come from?
I'm with you, Bab. I'm teeter-tottering because it's truly unclear. But when I look at that blood type haplo evidence, it's clear to me there was an original people and there was a mutation of the gene. They don't know where or how, but they can see it based on the proteins, on your antigens, all that old shit. So I'm like, well, damn, if we can figure out what the fuck caused that, how that happened, maybe we can get an answer to how these Asians and Mongoloids, these other haplotypes come to the earth. They claim it's 70,000 years ago it happened, but you know.
Ooh, could I speak on that real quick? Actually, I just
remembered something
I said a while ago. I made a comment. It was a random Instagram post, and basically someone not invented or whatever. It was a little magnetic strip for white people that you would put on your nose, and it'd make their nostrils flare out to look like our noses, so that they could breathe easier when they're skiing. I remembered I had a source, and I can't remember which book I got it from, but I think it had something to do with Dr. Muhammad Ali, his stuff. But I told him, I said, this is why melanated folks have the wider nostrils that are often caricatured. Its function is simple: larger air intake, better respiratory function, and thus an evolutionarily efficient aerobic performance. But it's neat that there are products that biomimic this function for those with a more narrow nose bridge, ones that originated from an evolutionary need to protect the body from inhaling fine particulates, namely sulfur. So I was quoting, I have 3 scientific studies that was basically saying that white people came from a mutation of us that came from what was called the Lake Toba catastrophe, which was a super volcano that exploded near India or Hindustan.
I want to get into one of my hypotheses.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to hear that.
That's interesting, though. I would like to, hear more on that.
I like that.
Because right now the volcano.
I believe that the advanced people of America created white people 100,000 years ago.
That sounds like Yakub's story, though.
I'm thinking maybe that's a folklore, word of mouth transmission of maybe some cataclysm that happened, but because we were around before, the people that were created.
The Yakub story is talking about the great scientist that was in Peru that they called the Yakubatan. the Yakutan. It's talking about a geographical location, not an actual person. Yakub ain't a person; it's a location.
I got what you're saying.
They're talking about the Yucatan.
Yeah, the NOIT something different though. They teach it the 12.
I ain't no NOI, nigga. I ain't no Muslim, nigga. So now listen. I'm saying they created these people about 100,000 years ago, bro. And not only did we create white people, we created all these other races that you really or ambiguously don't know their history. The Asian people you see today, the East Indian you see today, and some African groups that you see today.
Explain some of the reasons you believe this theory, or you lean towards this theory.
Well, I believe when we look at the science and when we look at the genetic makeup of these people, most of these people are spliced up between multiple different things. And when you look at genetic mutations that will occur in genetic altering, there will be mishaps. And a lot of these other races have these mishaps. The leading ones being the East Indians, aka the Caucasian Asians.
I ain't gonna lie. Every time I read a story about alien abduction, it's always the white man. 99% of them.
That's not true. One of the first alien encounters that happened, I forget the family. It was a white lady and a black man that was abducted.
I ain't saying no black people ever. I said 99%.
One of the first ones ever recorded was a white lady and a black man that was a couple.
I got what you're saying, but 99% of the cases are white people.
So what are you saying with that? Are you saying that these abduction
something above could have created these folks, and they still manipulating their DNA?
Man, you talk about you ain't seen nobody above us.
Yeah, hold on. Can I build on what Ab Power said originally with Pan and the connection with
You want to go to aliens so bad, bro?
Yeah, I don't want to go so bad. I don't see why a black man would create a white man.
Hey, can you cut your mic up, Copper? Your mic a little low, bro.
I got him. All you got to do is speak. I cut him up. I'll turn him up. Go ahead, Copper. Go ahead. You can build on what I was talking about earlier. You got the flow.
I didn't know. You brought up the word Pan. Well, first, I didn't know the Yakubian thing was linked to Peru, because now that fills in some gaps, because remember, so it was the Incans that's linked to Peru, right?
Right. The Inca, the ancient Moshe, the people who created Corral Super.
Okay, so then I already know, you're probably aware of how the Incans had such a strong food storage science. They had basically what they call them vertical archipelagos. They had their food science to a science where basically they had it designed to where they could grow potatoes at different altitudes. It was like a upside down cone.
They built like a
grow different types to prevent famine.
Yeah.
I say that to say, if they were already figuring out how to make different genetic varieties of foodstuffs, that's not that big of a jump to figure out how to do that with biology and basically create like an early form of CRISPR.
Those same people, Brother Khan, also had a huge genetic breakthrough a few thousand years before that with maize, turning it into what we call corn today. And it went through various different genetic alterations. The first genetically modified foods that still exist today. So we know that they were very advanced when it comes to scientific genetic alterations just with plants alone. So to think that they wouldn't have experimented outside of plants, that's crazy. Even in school, when you got to dissect something, at least in my school, they gave us like a llama bean to dissect first. Like we dissected a freaking llama bean in school, like elementary. You know what I'm saying? They advanced up to other things. Eventually,
the only thing that we got to also add to that Incan story, that this might be some cap too, that they was even advanced first, because they went and invaded the people who were already there, who already built the structures, who were already living this sort of lifestyle, and the Inca invaded them and took over their shit. They are
No, the Inca didn't invade nobody. Shit.
No. I think the Incans were indigenous, because there's a book in the 13th century that says that Peru and Mexico got invaded by
they wasn't indigenous. I'm not saying they
weren't. As a matter
indigenous.
of fact, the Incas had some of the most prestige building of brick masonry.
Yeah, there was somebody there before them, and the Inca tell you they didn't build the buildings.
That's not true. The Incas got
I
their
didn't see anything on that.
They got their own masonry that's dedicated strictly towards Inca. That's called cellular stone masonry. That's
it's not the megalithic stone buildings that
exactly
was
what it is. The
already there.
megalithic stone.
Oh, you're talking about the
No. The
geopolymer
Inca
stuff?
style building is, hold on one second. The Inca style building is more smaller, compact type stuff that's on top of the megalithic structure.
No. I'm gonna pull it
I'm
up and
not
show you.
saying, listen, hold on. I'm not denying that the Inca had power, and I'm not denying that they didn't have technology, and I'm not saying that they weren't indigenous. I'm saying look into it, you'll see the areas that they go into, Peru and all to the west coast of
Can you
South
drop
America.
a source? Can you drop a source for that?
Yeah, I will. And there was already a people there called the Chanca.
Pull it up right now so we can pull it up, because I'm about to pull my source up showing you that these Incas built huge stone bricks, and they had a particular style called stone masonry. And the Incas is credited for that. I'm gonna show you right now. Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
For real, I'm about to learn something new.
Yeah, we gotta get to that, because I never heard that, Cosmo. You might got something new for me. Real shit. And I want to just make this a learning lesson for the people that's in here too as well, since we are in an open panel. Shout out to everybody that's in the building too, man. We do appreciate y'all for coming on up in here. Damn, where my books? I'm on my other computer. Oh, give me 2 seconds, y'all. My bad. Trying to get to it. Let's go to some Inca stone masonry right here. All right, so we're gonna pull up the first source. It's from the American Indian Encyclopedia. Of course, you guys. And this particular image is from the Library of Congress. So let's highlight that so you guys can have a understanding. All right. So it said Inca stone masons used a technique called cellular stonework. This involving carving blocks into polygons and setting them into they interlock. They cut the stones with such precision that it's impossible to put a blade through them today. And here goes the image of these bricks from the exact photo in the Library of Congress, credited as Inca stone masonry. These are huge stones, huge bricks.
Peace, Bap. Let me ask you a question though. Do you think they call themselves Inca?
No, but it doesn't really matter. We're just using an identifying marker. That's like, did they call themselves black or did they call themselves Aboriginal? You know what I'm saying? We don't know what they understand in the terms that they actually use to identify themselves during those current times. But we know, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's really irrelevant to what they call themselves. But I think as long as we know exactly who we're talking about, we good. But I mean, I would like to know what they call it. I'm not saying it's irrelevant. We shouldn't figure out. But
let me show you this, Bal. Let's just look up first things first. Were the Chanca in South America before the Inca?
Can you drop that in the back for me?
No, I'm about to show you. I'm about to bring it up on the screen so we can all look at it. You know what I mean? And we can pull it up and stuff. Just a simple question, right? Just a simple question. Do the Chanca predate the Inca in South America? Yes, the Chanca people did predate the Inca in South America, specifically in the Andes region of Peru. The Chanca culture is believed, this is just what they believe, to have emerged around 1200 AD, thriving in the highlands of Peru, central Peru, to about 1450. The Inca Empire, in its expansionist phase, rose to prominence later, beginning around 1438 AD. Let's just show that they was deadly enemies, right? The primary enemy of the Inca were the Chanca. The Chanca were a powerful chiefdom, and this is what, remember when the Spanish start coming in and dealing with the Inca? This is why they just let them come in. The Inca didn't fight the Spanish at all. They went with whatever they was talking about because the Spanish was helping them to get rid of the Chanca, the indigenous copper color, super copper color.
I know, but I know
the same people.
Hold on. You saying they took this building technique from, which is why you were pulling this up. So what I want you to do is show me Chinca stone masonry, and let's compare them, and let's see what type of stone masonry they use. Techniques.
Okay, hold on. Let's look at it first, because what you're saying is Inca. I'm saying the Inca said was already there when they got there.
I'm saying show me where the Inca said that too.
Yeah,
right here.
You're waiting on that too.
Right here. Now this is just
that's AI though.
Let me show you this real quick. Let me just read it and then I'm gonna go into it. The Inca did not claim to have built all the megalithic structures found.
We don't see nothing. You gotta reshare your screen.
Oh, my bad. It's not sharing?
No, I mean you screen sharing the Chinga shit.
Okay, hold on. Can you see it now?
Yep.
Okay, now let's go look at some of the pre-Inca stuff. Right now, this is the just look at this.
Go to the top. Let me read that top part.
Okay, hold on, but I want to get.
Hold on, go back. I want to read that AI overview right quick.
I'm about to go right back, but I just want to show y'all the difference. This is on the right hand side.
This ain't a valuable source. This from Reddit. That's why I said go back.
I understand. Just hold on 1 second, fam. I just want to show y'all the difference in between Inca. Hey, what's that shit up? I just want to show y'all the difference. On the left hand side,
know if that's real Chinga structure because this is from Reddit. That's what I'm trying to say. Reddit just post anything. Reddit is anybody. It's like worse than but go to the top of this right here.
So I can just explain what I'm talking about. Right here, like this.
Can you go back to that? Can you go back to the AI overview so I can read that bit, bro?
Yeah. I just want, but yeah, I'm gonna look right here. See this megalithic structure, the big stuff right here in the front. The Inca said that they didn't build this stuff. This is Inca style.
Where did the Inca say that though? I need a source that says that. I need a source that says that. And I need you to go back to the AI overview where it says all that you keep clicking. I want to read that part right here. That part.
Okay. There you go. It said no. The Inca did not claim to have built all the megalithic structures found at sites like Machu Picchu. While the Inca were skilled stonesmen who built impressive structures, there's evidence suggesting that some of the megalithic structures were already present when they arrived, and they adapted and built upon them. The Inca themselves were not ancient, and their empire flourished between 13th and 16th century, whereas some of the megalithic structures predate them.
Yeah, we know that there was people that came before the Inca, like the Olmec, like the Moshe, like the Maya. You see what I'm saying? They obviously built shit too. You know what I'm saying? So we know they're not the only ones building in the Andes, like Bolivia, Argentina, Peru. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Mexico. Because the Inca had a wide variety of area that they covered. You see what I'm saying? So,
and they built different styles.
I want to see the source where the Inca learned that their masonry from these other people.
No. They got a different style of masonry. For instance, okay, y'all don't want to look at that picture. Let's go look at
like a proto form of it.
I know, but you said earlier you said the Incas didn't build that. They took that from somebody else and learned that style from somebody else.
Yeah, because there were people there before them.
I gotta remember something too, man. Especially with the mission work.
Hey, hold on. Hey, real quick. real quick. I just want to show y'all the difference in style, right? The megalithic structure is older, right? And you can see the Incan style on top with the smaller bricks. It's not the same thing. You know what I mean? It's a total different style. We're not saying that the Inca didn't build nothing. They were great masons. We're not saying that. We saying they built later on top of some shit that was already.
Your source said that the Inca built megalithic structures, just not all the megalithic structures in the area. That's what your own source just said.
Yeah. So if anything, they were like rival cultures from the same master teachers.
So you can't discredit and say that they didn't build megalithic structures when your source said they did.
Show me which megalithic
structure. Another question, right? Let me ask you another question, right? Be honest, right? If two people build two structures, right? Two different people.
Yeah.
Would they look the same? I'm talking about they could be in the same time. They all could be considered so-called Incan.
Yeah, but Incan is not.
That don't necessarily mean the same. They got the same design. People been unique. We had different styles of masonry, and it was almost like a contest when you boy build these kind of monuments.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
They ain't really gonna never look the same. They look more. I mean, a whole Mason idea to prove his work is better than the other Masons did, whatever.
The Incas just didn't do one style of masonry. When you read in the American Indian Encyclopedia, as a matter of fact, let me see what a couple techniques that they use. Hold on one second. I'm gonna just go up here and read a couple of them right here. Give me 2 seconds. It was right here, and we're gonna read. So they use. Look, it said the Incas used stone masons. One of them weighed up to 20 tons. Now, I'm gonna pull that up. Give me 2 seconds. They use cyclone peen, cellular stonework, rustic masonry. They had like three different types. A Paraka stone masonry. They got like 4 different styles of stone masonry that the Incas use.
Man, masonry is masonry.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Everybody dealt with, the same kinds of masonry. They have all over the world. It's distinct based on the material they use to build with. That's how you know where you at. Yeah. Some people try to date the material. How accurate they are, I try not to deal with that.
No, you can't date the material.
I don't subscribe to that. Them crazy dates they be coming up with. But I will say this though, man. When you building and dealing with masonry, the key word is what kind of material you got in the area. So what are your bricks made of? What a stone you using made of? Where the stone come from? Where it come from? That's the key word. Where it come from?
Oh, they use different type of stone, bro. When you get into the
I understand that. So basically the stone they use be from the area in.
They use limestone, they use basalt, they use granite in some cases, they use quartzite. I mean, I can name one. I got the sources right. Let me
listen, and I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is based on what they build, what they use to build, it dictate what part of the earth they're in. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Make these stones. You can actually make these stones on site.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. That's why masonry is one of those occult things, because geometry goes into masonry. And if anything, anything about geometry, it's a sacred language. That 369, that's universal key, that's geometry coded language. So now we're talking about hidden language within the infrastructure of the actual building or structure that's being built. So imagine you build a structure, but your structure is being built to tell a story with an encoded language written in it, with every angle, with every measurement.
That's called stamp work. I mean, they built the building and stamped it.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That's kind of like how the Pyramid of the Moon, how it's got acoustic properties, like where you can clap and it makes like a bird sound.
Right. And while the Pyramid of the Moon has that, which a couple of them have those same acoustic properties, but Chichen Itza, what is Chichen Itza is the one that's more famously known. But then you got the Pyramid of the Sun. right? AKA Chachula.
Oh, yeah.
Chachula, right? They call it
Yeah,
the
Chachula.
Russian doll pyramid. Why do they call it the Russian doll pyramid? Do anybody know what a Russian doll is?
Yeah, it goes in
Because
itself,
it's a
and a bunch
thing
of layers that
inside
get
of a
smaller and
thing.
smaller.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what they meant then. I know there was no place called Russia back in those days either.
Well, they're giving a example to the modern understanding using consensus or layman terms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like we're not going to say
So Russian doll, the new page.
Now see a flying chariot in the sky in 2025, nigga. It was an airplane, gang. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not. You know what I mean? So that's how that works. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, this shit goes deep. But go ahead, y'all. Y'all got the flow.
Yeah. Do you think there's a way to recover those ancient sciences of megalithic structures? Like, is that something lost, or do y'all believe that the powers that be are just hoarding that information? But then, if that's so, why haven't we seen any like new iterations of that same science? Like, we don't line shit up to the stars no more. We don't. You know what I'm saying?
As of when?
I guess. I don't know. I guess as of when. Damn. No, you're right. Actually. I didn't even think about it like that. That's true. When did we stop?
Right. Because I don't think people ever really stop focusing on the stars and seasons. And I mean, hell, my granddaddy's whole life pertained to what season it was going to be.
Facts. Hey, happy New Year's to y'all too.
Yeah, for sure. Happy New Year.
Oh, word. Yeah.
So yeah, man, our ancestors depended on time and astronomy and how it affected us dealing with the seasons and shit like that. Much like our ancestors did. Our ancestors were such infatuated, maybe because it was something that was maybe a new. They looked at it from a total lens because obviously they built these huge structures to credit it to understanding the science that they had of the shit above them. You know what I mean? Where things were astronomically aligned, whether it was for the winter or summer equinox or for the summer or fall solstice. You see what I'm saying?
Now the crazy part is I know your statement is true to be true, Bap. And if that's so, then using archaeology or archaeo dating chronology, you dig what I'm talking about? You can line these things up to the times of their solstices to the times that they were built.
Oh yeah, you're right. You can reverse date things.
Do you know Teotihuacan is over 34,000 years old?
Some people estimate 50,000. Oh, well, Chachula, I meant to say.
Yeah,
based off of astronomical alignment.
Yeah, it's over 55,000.
The pyramids in Egypt gets the date around 14,000 years with our astronomical alignment.
And guess that what, makes both older than Göbekli Tepe.
And guess what it lined up with to the Pyramid of the Sun? It's 15 degrees off. The last time that it was 15 degrees off was a little over 24,000 years ago. And we know this to be fact because the North Pole was in the Hudson Bay at the time, right? And when you line that up, that would have been the building time for the Temple of the Sun. That bitch, it would have been 24. So that's 26,000 years old.
Wait, hold on. Say that again about the North Pole being in the Hudson Bay.
Yeah, the North Pole used to. The North Pole is where it is today. Isn't always where it's been. Every part of the Earth has been north. Every part has been south. Every part has been east. Every part has been west. The so-called Great Flood and the Deluge deals with our current wobble of our planet, and it's settling at its current poles. This is how you.
Okay, I was about to ask that because I was going to leave it. Maybe that explains the cataclysms and whatnot. If all these, geographic locations kept shifting.
Yeah, and see, they think it's the poles that shift. It's not the poles. It's the Earth under the poles. North is always north.
Oh,
you know what I mean? But this planet, it wobbles and oscillates. You dig what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Every time, like it slows down over time. It just gets old. And just like a marble, when you spin a marble real fast, It'll keep spinning on its top, and then eventually it'll slow down and it'll wobble while it's flowing. Same thing the Earth is doing.
Oh, and because of that wobble, that's where you start getting like, I guess,
What they
tectonic plates messing up, like earthquakes and the water sloshing over, so the floods.
Not only that, the whole misunderstanding of what they call pole shifts.
Mm.
And to my understanding and what my science has showed, that the last time that this happened was only roughly about 24,000 years ago during the Laurentine glacial maximum. That's what actually caused it.
Damn. You know what? That kind of makes me, that gives a lot of meat, I guess, to the idea. Like, what was like the spark for our ancestors' obsession with the stars? Because a lot of people get into the whole it being aliens thing, and then even more so with white folks, they like to be like, anytime they see our ancient shit, they like to, you know, just chalk it up to aliens because they can't imagine dark-skinned people making shit. I think it really was two things. I think our reason for being so obsessed with the stars was, one, so that we could hyper-optimize everything we were already observing on Earth. Because once we realized the stars kind of, not necessarily the stars, I guess, but like the placement of the sun, certain periods of the year, we realized that there's better times to plant stuff. And then once we all had all that stuff down, I think the second reason was after these cataclysms was happening, we were preserving like a cultural memory that was kind of telling their ancient ancestors, hey, y'all need to watch out because this shit's going to happen around this time and y'all need to be aware of that so y'all can like prepare and make satellite colonies all over the planet.
What if that
in a way, man, I kind of agree with that there too.
Stars. What if that
I got a
is
question though.
What 1 second. What if that is the whole reason for the understanding of the stars? What if we do serve a great spirit that is fair and he allows people to perceive what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, if only we took the time to observe his creation. And
this is
not
how
necessarily inventing science, but just watching his ways.
And this is how in every story you always hear, the people already are prepared for when the cataclysm comes. They already moved before the cataclysm comes. And then never mind only the sun. Remember, the creator told us he gave us the sun and the moon to tell time. Just didn't nobody teach us that religions start hiding that knowledge instead of teaching.
Hey, did y'all hear about Trump just dropping them bombs on the nuclear plants in Iran?
I just saw that. Yeah, man.
It's up, y'all.
Damn.
I got a question though, man.
It's up now.
I got a question, Carl, about that theory you were talking about earlier. What exactly do you mean by the North Pole? When you say the North Pole, according to that theory, when they use that term North Pole, explain what you mean by that. Because people be saying that it's shifting. And according to I guess according to a ball Earth, it would be possible, but according to say a flat Earth with a dome covering it, it would be impossible. Latitude and longitude don't really move, no matter how many times you spin around.
This is why what they're saying is, no offense, but this is why what they're saying is cap. Because not only do we have a true north, but we also have a magnetic north. And magnetic north move around.
Yeah, but magnetic north is not real true north though. That's why I don't call it true north.
Didn't I just say
go in the area like off the coast and stuff? Yeah, I agree with you. That was saying. I agree with you.
Yeah, true north and magnetic north are not the same. And guess what? That can't happen on a flat plane.
Wait.
It depends where you at though. That can't happen.
All right.
I'm not genuinely understand because that's new to me. Like in my head, I can see it being a ball.
I don't really want to have that debate though.
Yeah, I don't want to have that. I don't
really want to have that debate.
I think it's low hanging fruit, and I don't argue people's opinions because I can't never convince you. Because in the end of the day, you're just gonna say, "Well, I don't believe." And
I know, right? And like none of us can fly outside.
I know the problem is that we trying to sit there and convince each other. I'm not gonna try to convince you. I'm gonna tell you what I heard. You tell me what you heard, and we can probably only go into the theory that already been placed before we came around. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's only a problem. We try to connect ourselves to somebody else's theory.
Fact.
Yeah, that's
we don't do that. We don't have no fucking problem.
If they can prove their theory, it's cool though. It's good.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't care if it come from every white person in the world. If it's right, it's right.
I understand what you're saying, but we stop critically thinking It changed everything, man. They teach you these shit like this globe earth thing when you're a kid. Too young to really critique the teacher.
Yeah.
And so they teach us these crazy shit though that changed over time. The shit I learned when I was in school, my kids went to school, that shit read in pseudo. Same thing
You're
with my
right.
grandkids.
Yeah, that's why I'm not too skeptical when it comes to things like
So
that
when
that
it
I'm
comes
not
to
really
that thing
aware
they
of.
call science, man, we gotta be careful because science does not equate the truth.
Yeah.
Well, observing of nature is science, right?
Right.
Well,
So nature or spirituality or the shit you can't see outside in nature and
Mhm.
science would be the same thing, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
similar and it's theoretic though.
No,
Because
I mean,
science, whatever model they use is based on somebody's philosophy.
Yeah.
And that particular philosopher, I mean, might not be correct in the
it's
whole, you know what I
based
mean?
on the philosophy of science, the test.
I know, but science is not alone philosophy, science is jurisdiction.
I'm saying
Whatever you read is based on whatever group or whatever person that put that organization that put that particular theory out or that book out that speaks on that theory. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
they get their information from one particular philosopher, the way he do or the way he claim to happen. There's many different philosophers out there.
That leads to the more proof that if one person is just saying one thing, he's probably more likely wrong than he is right. Correct?
You can't say because the mother might be right.
No, but what I'm saying is he probably more likely wrong though, right? If he trying to force his view,
It depends on the situation though.
Yeah,
It depends.
that's
Listen,
possible.
you can have a scientist come out right now. They're telling real information, but connecting us to some shit they don't want to connect it to. So all these other scientists can start coming out critiquing you because they don't want that kind of information out. Even though, so that don't necessarily mean that one person lying.
Religion has always done that.
We talk about science, though. We ain't talking about religion.
No, but listen,
No, we're
science
talking
has
about
always been
religion kills all
religious.
sciences.
Science is religious in nature. It operates off of political motivations.
Nah.
So if the base of the
I'm-
philosophy for a lot of those things, at least we're talking about like Western science anyways, not science as a field of like using the scientific method or anything like that, but you know, the mindset of a lot of stuff we just believed at face value and then we learn, now we have to unlearn a lot of that shit, like with history. I get what you mean.
The reason why I say the difference is, man, because religion is based on somebody's fact, according to the fact. Science is theory.
I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about science and spirituality. Spirituality, I'm just saying they do the same thing. Objectively,
But they're do
the same thing.
Yeah, the same thing.
I get what you're saying. It's got the same function, but they got different methods of coming to the same conclusion. That we can observe something and then extrapolate that.
It's all about how somebody interpret the word goddamn breath.
No, or it's just simply man trying to explain the unseen cause behind everything that he sees. That's what science does, and that's what spirituality does.
Yeah,
of course it is. But that man came to have the information brought to him from another or some kind of different way. It's not his, theory. It's a fact that was told to him. He telling somebody else. That's what religion based on. Science is based on somebody's theory.
No, it's not. It's okay, but it don't matter.
I know. I'm saying that's the difference between science and religion.
But
they use science to defeat religion.
All information comes from outside man into man. He didn't just poof and it was in him and E equals MC squared. No, that's not how it works. All information comes from outside. Right? This is why your environment is important. Because what you do, your tendencies.
Bro, let's get back on track, bro. I understand what you're trying to say. Well, I'm not against you. Let's keep on with the conversation. But we getting stuck back and forth trying to say which one is right and wrong, and it's about to end up seeming like we debating each other instead of going on with the bill.
Bro, it's just different ways of looking at it.
Exactly, and I agree with that.
See, this is what you got to understand. I'm not like a lot of these niggas. I'm not trying to lord my information over. This is why when you ask me something, I always give it. I'm never trying to hold no information because I understand I got this information free. So the more I give it free, right? Whether you believe it or not, the more I give it free, the more I get. So you dig what I'm talking about? This is why I always I take teaching serious. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, but we building though right now.
but what I'm saying is we build it, and that ain't about big me and little Darvis. That ain't no. This about being able to see it from Cosmine way, to see it from Bat way, Smoke way, and Darvis way. And then let yourself make up the decision.
Yeah, but right now, you're the leading chair. So I'm just asking you. I'm asking you a question based on the philosophy. The theory you came up with a little while ago. That's why I asked about which way was true north. We got sideways. I'm just giving the North Pole because you used the term North Pole and shifting the North Pole and the pole shifting and all that. I want you to qualify what you mean by pole and north.
Okay,
that was it. I wanted to get back into the bill.
Okay,
we don't want to 30 years outside the bill. I ain't want to fuck the bill up. It got me curious.
Okay, well. Let me help you. There is actually a literal pole in the north, a literal pole called the North Pole. You ain't even got to believe it. Man, put it there. It is the center of the ice mass on top of, or on the, not top, but on our planet, in the northern part of our planet. You dig what I'm talking about? Ain't no top on a ball. But you dig what I'm saying? So, but there is a magnetic north that moves around true north. It don't stay still. You dig what I'm talking about? And the proof of that is that on certain nights, you can see the aurora borealis, right? Especially over the mountains, because that's what's being magnetized.
Yeah, but it's just light being reflected certain ways. You understand that though, right?
I don't believe that. I believe it is ionized material in the air. The same thing that produces bright ass light in the day, it's just dimmed down through all the material not being polarized properly. Not polarized. So it gives
like a film,
pretty
like
colors
a light
in the
bulb.
night.
So, there's the light just reflecting off these different gases and all that is in there.
That makes so much sense.
They dense enough to light the goddamn reflect off them, and they make different shades, different colors or whatever at a certain time.
Okay. So you're saying where the aurora borealis
light reflect off time.
You're
like a rainbow.
Where a magnetic pole would be,
like a super rainbow.
This the dope part though. By the strength of wherever you at the magnetism is, are the colors in the sky. So if you got a more
what angle you're looking at it,
right? If you get the more redder colors, the color is probably more light. The magnetism is less. You dig what I'm talking about? But when you get them bright greens and yellows and bright blues and all that stuff, them be the higher magnetism. You dig what I'm talking about? And it give off color, per the electromagnetic spectrum.
According to
science.
I know science is the bigger term. Who theory is that though? I know what scientists came up with that theory though.
The term of science that shows that, because a lot of it, all of it works together. You did
understand that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying what scientists came up with the theory.
I heard what you said.
Cool. My bad.
I heard what you said. What I'm saying is that science is called data sonification, where it's turning, where just elements make noise, and from that noise you get light, or what's called spectra. This is a whole science. Data sonification. Sound making, noise, light, all that shit.
All right, cool. So according to that particular science, would you say there's other scientists that may disagree with them? So I'm talking about that particular area you talk about, the light spectrum we talked about earlier.
No, you can't. It's already been proven. It's a whole science.
But don't make it proven though. If it was proven, it wouldn't be a science. It'd be a fact.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely proven. That's why it's a science. Data sonification is real. Just like sonoluminescence is real. Just like cymatics is real. It is science.
It's the study of that, man. And it's based on a model.
Yeah, it's real.
That's how all science is. It's not facts.
But
when we call science, it was facts.
It's
it being a
based on
model doesn't
factual
invalidate
things in
whether
nature.
whether it's useful or not.
Mama.
Yeah, it's based on
Bro, listen.
factual things in nature. You dig what I'm talking about? They know that they're facts. They were just able to prove it. Now they have a science to study it further. But it's absolute.
Yeah.
Data
So
science.
basically, I say the science, the studying of it, then, right?
Yes, all
right,
science
cool.
is the study of everything.
All right, cool. But I don't make it fact then if you're studying it.
No, the whole point of science is to debunk itself.
Yeah, so it's constantly debunking itself.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
That's what
so
makes it the most accurate
can
form
truth
of.
be debunked though?
Truth can't.
All right, cool. So the truth, you can't debunk truth. You question
No,
it.
but how do you get to a point of truth without negating everything that's not true? Like there's still a figuring out process along the way, getting to that definitive truth.
Cool, I
That's why
understand
it's
what
so
you're
messy.
saying.
Where,
That's a good question.
Someone will
That's a
have a
good question.
model and then get rid of it, and then the better one will come out, and it'll repeat forever. Because we'll never get to a point to where everything's absolute and everything's solved. Because then that's just going to create another wave of figuring out, hey, is that true after all? And it repeats itself.
But if
Every
it's
guy go through that, you're looking for truth though.
if it's objective, it is faxiomatic, axiomatic, can be proved, has been proved, has substance, weight, character, length. You dig what I'm talking about? And is objective. Well, then it just is also. And how the science,
like
how
childbirth.
you get to understanding it, I don't think is the bad part. You know what I mean? I think when you have to pigeonhole yourself, what Darvis is saying, into another nigga's ideal of what it's going to be in the end, is when you sell yourself short.
Yeah, and that's where we say that's when it stops being science. At that point, that's why I say science is religious. Because once you start taking models and then going, well, we're going to do a new search, and oh shit, it actually doesn't fit what we thought. And then they double down on that ignorant shit anyways, and then keep, putting studies that are clearly false, then yeah, it's not science no more, man.
Yeah,
and the
cool.
models
So now,
that they make after the fact don't matter.
I agree.
all right, cool. But listen though, when we start talking about the difference between science and religion are two different things.
We're not talking about religion.
Religion is based on some facts. Religion is based on truth. Misinterpreted maybe, yes. But it's based on truth. Science came about to try to critique it or learn it. Or try to debunk it. That's where science came from, the stem and all this other shit. Though. Religion and science ain't the same thing.
No,
science is a method.
No,
it's not even actual goddamn
religion is a belief, bro.
Religion is observing of these motherfucking stars, this universe, these constellations, and how they affect you. That's all religion based on. No. That's not a belief. That's actual truth. That's actual study. Actual time.
It's not objective.
Yeah, I know, but it's not a belief though.
It is belief.
Maybe no. Because if it's talking about the observance of all the universe, why do they got these pyramids out there in the first place?
Let me ask you a question.
How come there been a temple on top of each one of them?
Hold on. To be a Christian, do you have to believe in Jesus?
I'm not a Christian. You cannot
listen to my question.
Religion is Christian,
listen
brother.
to my question.
I don't know. I'm not a Christian.
To be a Christian, okay.
Man, you got to ask a Christian that, bro.
To be an MST of A more, do you have to believe in Noble Drew Ali?
You don't believe in no man. But to be there, you probably if you're in the MSTA, yes, you in that.
No, nigga, do you believe in Allah, my nigga? Do you believe in Allah? Do you believe in Allah?
Man, I don't deal with belief, man.
Brother, you're being pedantic.
Get your words right, man.
Answer the question.
I'm of the Most High.
Do you believe in the Most High?
You got to remember these words got definition to them.
Stop dancing.
All right. No, you use the term belief. I don't listen. I told you what I subscribe to. That's what I deal with. I don't deal with belief.
All right.
What do you subscribe to?
So have the conversation with me, right?
That there's a creator out there, and I subscribe to that. They have many different names.
Listen, to be a Muslim, do you have to believe that Allah exists?
I imagine so, but that's not what a Muslim is.
Well, what we're proving to you is that religion is subjective.
No, that don't make it subjective, man. What the fuck you mean?
My God.
Come on, man. Stop that. The Muslims don't worship him. The Muslims, they worship the Most High.
They worship Allah.
Cool. We understand these terms, right? These terms are interchangeable, depending on where you at, what language you're speaking. Still talking about the Creator. We understand that, right?
No, we don't.
That's
Well,
a
then you
belief.
maybe you need to get
That's
that
a
right.
belief.
Well, maybe you need to get that part right. Maybe you need to find a Muslim and talk to him,
Hey,
King.
Darvin, or
And you get a
Darvish,
better understanding about it.
Darvin.
What's
Do
that,
all the
King?
people that do all the religions, whether they believe or facts, do they all have a aren't they all theologians?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man. Why the fuck are you asking about all religions? You know how many different religions there is, nigga? That's a
That's
stupid
not the
loaded
point of
question
him
made
asking
for
that. He
kids.
only
I'm
twisted his words
grown.
when he asked the
That's
question.
not a fuck. Come on, man. Let's do that.
Why he asked
Break
it.
something else down. Come on, a better question, man. Ask
Okay,
again,
hold on.
man.
Let me
Okay, the
ask you.
All
religions.
right, there
Let
you
me
go.
ask him a better question than that.
There you
The
go.
religions that you understand, because you say you a Moor, so that's Allah, and you a Hebrew. So in them two religions, do them have theologians go off thesis and stuff?
Mm.
Say that again, bro.
Mm.
Do they go off of what?
A
Do the
thesis.
two religions that you believe
theological
in?
thesis.
Do the religions you believe in, are they like are the people that bring it to us theologians, and do they have theories and thesis?
Man, you understand what the thesis is, right? You
Man,
understand
who
what the
cares
thesis is?
what it is? Can you answer the question and then tell me?
I know because it don't make no fucking sense. How can all religions have a thesis? You
So
understand what
you're
the word
saying
thesis
that? So you
means?
A
telling me
thesis
that no,
No,
there's not
I'm
no
saying it,
thesis?
King. Get your
Oh
dictionary.
my god,
Just ask the
man!
question right.
This
Because
is what
obviously you
I'm
don't know what the
saying.
thesis
Okay,
is. What the
here.
fuck that got to do with
Okay,
religion, bro?
This is what I'm gonna say. All religions and all science, when it don't go past a theory or a thesis, turns into a belief because it's not a fact. So I'm agreeing that I'm gonna land my plane. I'm agreeing that science can be a religion when you just stuck on a theory or a thesis without doing the fact though, and I digress. That's it, man.
I say the problem is your model, King. You came up with a model that was wrong. And you basing a religion off of that model you came up that you know was wrong. Come on, bro.
Let me ask you a
Okay.
question, Darvis. Let me ask you a
Science
question.
is
This will, hey, Brute, let me get it real quick. This will prove that it's subjective. Can a Christian on Monday be a Muslim on Tuesday, a Buddhist on Wednesday, and a Brahminist on Thursday?
Why are you asking me about a Christian, bro? I'm not a Christian.
I'm not asking
And
you.
I'm so cool.
I'm not asking you. Are you? Are you a Hebrew?
Yes, just like you.
Okay,
But it's
so
not.
can you
Hebrew is
be a
not religion,
Hebrew?
though, bro.
Okay, because if you can't think outside of yourself, let me just
Man,
talk about
I think outside of myself. But the questions are loaded, and it seems like a good question.
Can you be a Moorish person on Monday, MST of A, Mufti on Monday, and then turn around and be a Hebrew on Tuesday?
Now you finished?
I'm asking you, can you?
All right, cool. Moorish. Notice the suffix in the motherfucker, idiot. Now, the MSTA Moor, the people of the MSTA, those people in no temple, they call themselves Moors. So if we
That a
search
yes
it,
or a
nigga,
no?
the answer would be Moorish.
Hey,
Yes,
Darvin.
yes, no. Let me get the last one out. Give me 1 second.
Hey,
Give me
Darvin.
quiet. Give me 1 second. Let me get the last one out. Right quick, man. Damn. Anyway,
Can you
and then after the
be a
last part, the
Hebrew?
Hebrew thing. All
Can you
these
be a
Hebrews
Hebrew and then
were
change
called
into a
Moors,
Muslim the next
King.
day,
So
bro?
yes, you can be all three of them. You will
Carmen, you're
automatically be all
crazy,
three
man.
of them.
Listen,
It can
Carmen,
be.
you're crazy, man.
Yes or
No,
no?
y'all is ignorant. If you give me
Yes or
1
no?
second, I can explain it. Give me 1 second, I can explain it to you. Obviously, y'all got an issue
No,
with
just
that
say yes
problem.
or no. We
I
don't.
no, I mean, it's not a yes or no answer. It's
Just
not
say
a yes or
yes.
no answer.
It's
It's
literally
not
a
a
yes
yes
or
or
no
no answer.
answer.
No, it's not a yes or no
We're
answer.
not
Listen,
even
man.
saying
Say
we're
no
Make a
question
religious.
for
point.
the
He's
idiots,
not trying to
man.
set you up, bro.
Listen, since he can't keep
The
it 100,
question is,
he can't keep
What
it
type of
100.
stupid
Yes,
ass
the
question was
question
that,
is.
man?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. What kind of stupid ass question was that? That's a good question. What kind of stupid ass question was that?
No,
Ask the question
because
again, King, and I answer it if I can.
the proof is it is subjective. It's all about your belief. If I want to be an Israelite on Monday, I am. If I want to be a Christian on Tuesday, I